Hello, everyone. Snuck right up on us. We do like that. Welcome back to ESL's 15th season of Pro League.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. That's Yanko. Paunovic down there on the end. Kassad here in the middle. And we're stuck in the middle with you.
Yet again.
Yet again. But, you know, you guys are cool. Like, I'll give you that. You guys are, you're cool. If I'm cool, you're cool. But none of you, and I say this with extreme confidence, none of you are as cool as the next gentleman, or maybe even the other one with him, that I'm about to introduce. It's Anders Bloom and Alexander Ellenberg.
Damn, I've never heard you introduced by a name like that ever before.
No one says my first name in esports. Everybody just calls Machine Alex, so I'm just one of, I don't know, like maybe a dozen Alexes in this space, but yeah.
We're about to have one in the game too.
Yeah, there's that just makes things even more confusing. But thanks, Trace. It's cool being on the casting side of things. I didn't have to get makeup today. Maybe people can tell. I don't know if the camera shows that.
Yeah, wonderful times. I think this is going to be a good game. It's good to be here at Pro League. I'm excited. So and we
yeah, welcome, Anders.
Yeah, it's great. We color-coded in everything. We tried our best.
Right. Yeah, it's been good. I mean, yeah, back to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we could take it. I would love to just have a back and forth. We could try it, but you never really know.
The technology isn't there yet, Trace.
Well, that, and we don't know what Anders can say at any given time.
I mean, that is a live broadcast, right? So.
Terrifying. But anyway, welcome back, Anders. Good to see you. But guys, in front of us, we do have a matchup that is Movistar Riders versus GODSENT. Now, there's a couple names in the server that you're going to recognize, and perhaps the lineups look a little bit different than they used to. But these teams do have a little bit of a history, a little bit of a backstory already. And just looking at them surface level, what are you thinking, Kassad, besides that big...
These two teams played each other in the ESL Pro League conference back in November / beginning of December. And Movistar Riders won 2-0, right? And then that was just to remind you, that was the period where GODSENT played their best CS, their own best CS. So they qualified from the major, they qualified for IEM Winter, I believe. You know, they played good CS, you know, for their own standards back then. They still lost to. Right now, they're facing some issues, we can say. They swapped a player. We don't know exactly what happened there. And it's going to be a little harder.
Yeah, it's going to be harder. There's a lot of different paths into the Pro League, and for these two going through the conference was just that. Let's learn some more.
It's fair to say it ain't easy to become one of the jet setters of the ESL Pro League, and therefore there's a bunch of teams who really want to call themselves one of the best in the world. And it's no shocker when $175,000 is on the horizon. But first, you have to show you have enough guts to make it through the EPL conference. Salt in the eye. Extra Salt was indeed a thorn in everyone's side. The American organization managed to beat Sprout in their first clash of the tournament, which resulted in Sprout dropping into the lower bracket.
Yeah, Floppy, 1 versus 3 to be able to find this one as well. Opportunity, there's the first, maybe the second, and now it's all on the slacks with the orb already scoped on through as well. And Floppy manages to find the 1 versus 3 in the end.
The next step looked a bit easier though, and this is when JT and his crew easily dismantled the Aussies. First on Inferno, followed by a stomp on Dust 2 to make it 2-0.
It's done. This is exactly how it ended on Inferno, and it's similar scenes here on D2, 16-8.
The final step is always the hardest. At least that's what they say. After a close loss to Mad Lions on Nuke, Extra Salt found their footing and pulled out some great results on Ancient and then on Inferno, thus securing the first of 3 Pro League main stage spots. First in, best dressed. How does it feel to become the first ever Spanish team to qualify? You'll have to ask Alex and his buddies because the Spaniards started their march to victory against RBG, regardless of the mounting pressure.
First shot right on cue. Sunpius is holding a very narrow angle, finds it, even goes out into the Molotov. How audacious is that from Sunpius?
Next on their hit list was the Polish side Anonimo.
AGO are currently leading the charge in terms of being in Pro League themselves. Kyler will lead the charge of this defensive line. Get the ace. Nice and easy for him.
Despite the best efforts from the Poles, it was the Riders who claimed the W. Their last encounter was against GODSENT. The Movistar Riders had to overcome the Brazilians, and oh boy did they deliver.
He prevents the plant. Time is ticking. 11 seconds left. So now he has to play a high-stakes game, a ring around the rosy, and it's going to go the way of Movistar. The twists and turns continue.
First by winning Overpass 16-13, and then Nuke 16-9, despite losing all 4 pistol rounds. Last but not least, Despite being relegated to the lower bracket, both Sprout and GODSENT had a really good run, where both teams in fact ended up meeting each other in the final. It was a good start for Sprout, where Rawls and his crew showed some skills on Ancient, winning 16-10.
Utility of Sprout, and this is looking bad, Mac.
Oh, a risky play from GODSENT, and it could be crumbling down. Bomb now down at the top of ramp, and Phelps, he's gonna get smacked through the smoke as well. Okay, he's on for the ace.
The other maps were a different kettle of fish, though, which resulted in GODSENT claiming the victory at the 11th hour and became our group qualifier for the ESL Pro League Season 15. Unless we forget the Pro Tour points being handed out, which also helps the teams get their well-deserved recognition. GG well played, and we'll see you at the ESL Pro League Season 15.
A lot of extra salt in that bracket, and it'll make a lot of sense, except for extra salt turns into complexity, and then we're just stuck with Kassad. So...
So many informations on the screen there. My mind just, exploded a little bit.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Okay, so not to confuse everybody, but the ESL Pro League Conference is, in fact, the way to secure the points and also get your foot in the door for Pro League. And for these teams, we're looking at two teams that have been around as an org for a while, but in terms of stature, they're trying to reestablish themselves, Yanko.
Yeah, I think so. Obviously you got Taco there, right? The big name from the SK/Luminosity days. And after his stint in Team Liquid, he decided to go back to his roots and kind of assemble this team with a bunch of young players. And Phelps, who, funnily enough, isn't here. He's been benched. They brought Henny. First, it was supposed to be temporary, right? But then they announced they signed him on for a 2-year full contract. And this is the first time GODSENT is going to have a full-time opera on the lineup as well. It was a role that was delegated across the team, really, So it will be interesting to see them, how they'll perform with a main opera, and I imagine it will take them a while to adjust to that playstyle.
It's definitely it's a good sign that they signed a full-time opera right now. Although I don't know Henny, his history. Is he going to be fully focused? They probably had those talks before.
I give them 3 months before they bring in Lucas as well.
I mean, could be true, but definitely it's a good thing to see. Sadly for Phelps, we don't know what it is. He didn't say anything much in particular, but like having a full-time op, aggressive op, is going to help them a lot. A player like Dumao will be like, a little bit more focused on rifle as well.
Yeah, and that should go a long way. You think about a Counter-Strike team, you see 5 individuals, you don't necessarily think about it fitting like a puzzle. Well, in this regard, for the EPL Conference of Season 15, when these two teams met, it looked a little like this, albeit different conditions from what you guys are telling me.
Yeah.
GODSENT played a really good CS back then. Movistar Riders plays pretty much the same. Immediately after the major, I think the motivation was still high, the confidence was still high, even though they didn't make any great results on that very same major. But I think they were playing all right. The players like Sampayas is there, made their main opera and the best player in the team, and they still beat them, like the team GODSENT, who was playing their own best CS at the time. So I believe right now it's a little bit different situation. I would place like Movistar Riders as the favorites in this one.
Yeah, I have to kind of grab onto that in a little way, shape, or form as well. But truth be told, when we talk about Taco, it's not just because it's not quite Tuesday, but tacos are great. Taco himself is a legend. He has all the accolades, has the trophies, he has the things up there that make him one of the legends of the game forever. That's Taco. Epitasio to you. Let's hear what he's got to say.
At EPL conference, the tournament that gave us the spot to be here, it was a really tough tournament for us. We had really nice matches to play. All the matches were really close from the beginning of the tournament to the end of the tournament. And I think that it actually helped us to give us more experience and more feeling of the game, and we improved a lot after that specific tournament, because we felt that we got a boost of confidence, especially because we qualified and we achieved our goal.
Well, their goal was to get to Katowice, and it was close. I think Yanko-ish.
Yeah, they lost that game against ENCE in the spot for the group stage, so it was relatively close.
They lost the best of 1 to Mouse and then best of 3 to ENCE, right? Both, good teams. They both made the main event, and ENCE, we saw how well they've played so far in Pro League, right? So it was a bit of an unfortunate bracket for GODSENT.
Yeah, and that's somehow how the bracket shapes up. They talk about cookies crumbling. Well, here's a bracket for you, Kassad.
Yeah, proceed to the group stage. Is this right? This is the Plains. I think they lost in the very second round, right, against ENCE? 2-0, 2-1.
listen.
Hey.
Okay.
Moving swiftly on.
Yeah, moving
Trace,
swiftly
how you doing,
away. Thank
Trace?
you. No, I think
How are
we're
you,
just
man?
fine. All things considered.
Tornadoes over there, back at home. That sucks.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's a whole thing. House is still standing, but yes, there are tornadoes in this world, and well, the tornado of a roller coaster that we're about to ride on is going to take us into an interview with Mopaz. That's right.
Hi everybody, right now I'm joined by Mopaz from Movistar Riders. Mopaz, I already got to talk to you during Katowice when you were brought in at the last moment. Were you happy with your team's performance there?
In Katowice, I cannot say. I can't say that I'm happy about that because we just lose. We just didn't show our best face to the team. So I am not. I'm not able to say that. But I'm confident that we are going to give our best here as well and try to be better perform.
But do you think you'll be able to get into top 3 of your groups?
I guess yes. I mean, if we play the same way that we are playing when we are training, I'm kind of sure that we are going to reach it. But it depends because in the officials we are struggling a little bit lately. So I don't know what should I expect, but I wish that we reach it.
Mm-hmm. Well, today's opponent is going to be GODSENT. We saw you 2-0 them. Now that they will have they will have Henny instead of Phelps. Do you think they will be a harder opponent?
For example, in my opinion, Phelps was the key for them because he is the most aggressive player that they have. And losing him is something really hard for them. But right now with Henny, they will be like in a honeymoon. Everything is going to work for them. They are going to be so confident, and it's going to be hard as well. So I guess that is going to be a strong match.
Awesome. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, for these teams, well, they're not in the conference anymore, and we're definitely, well, we were never in Kansas. We're in Katowice, I guess.
I've never been to Kansas.
If I had to imagine, not a whole lot to see there.
Except for the Chiefs.
And that road.
How about them Chiefs?
Yeah. Hey, Nuke, okay, first map of the series. Does this look right? Does this bode well?
I was thinking like it's going to be either Overpass or Nuke, but they decided Nuke. I mean, Overpass was also a good map for them lately and in the past year as well. So kind of a semi-obvious pick for them. And GODSENT, we don't know really pretty much about their map pool, considering they changed the player. They added more aggressive and Oper, so they went for Ancient.
Yeah, I think it's a more significant style change for them, even though it's just one player, right? Like, obviously, a guy, you saw what the Movistar Riders said, like, you know, Phelps was their most aggressive player, right? Well, Henny's an aggressive Oper, but it's different when you have an aggressive life compared to an aggressive Oper. You set up the game differently, so we'll see how they'll adjust.
They lost aggressiveness with the rifle, obviously, and then just...
They gained it with the Op.
Gained it with the Op. So they balanced it out in a way, but he just needs to show up today on the server.
So a little give and take. I mean, just for the Henny thing, that was only confirmed, you know, a matter of 20-something hours ago-ish, if that, right? So for us to know. I have to look at you guys and ask you who you think wins this, but is it, you know, are we up in the air? Is this as easy as a Movistar victory? Kassad.
I feel like even though they got, you know, a little bit too great, it's going to take them time to like balance that aggression with an op. You know, it's not going to just get into the server. He's going to deliver it right now. Nuke is on the other hand, he's one of Henny's like best maps, favorite maps to play. But I believe Movistar Riders, they know what they're doing. I think they're going to deal with them relatively convincingly.
I think GODSENT has better players, and they're going to win the game.
I think I can see that too. I think you're at least you want to think that the Taco's, you know, stature and legacy and all that can play into things here. And for Kassad, I don't really know what you're going to play on, but I guarantee you it's not this server because it's time.
It's time, Trace.
It's time.
It's Flamenco versus Samba. It's Pepe versus Sergio Ramos. No, Pepe's Portuguese. It's Neymar versus Xavi. I don't know football, man. It's time for a Counter-Strike, Trace.
And more importantly, it's time for Anders versus Maui Snake. Take it away. Ha ha ha.
It's fantastic. I didn't know we were going to be fighting inside of the broadcast, Maui, but I'm ready for it. It's GODSENT versus Movistar here at ESL Pro League, and we're going to be on Nuke for the first map of the best of 3. Does these map any surprise to you? Are you shocked by what we're seeing?
Not too much, not too much. I think the desk outlined it very well, and I think I have to side with Yanko in the fact that I think GODSENT's just got the superior firepower. They got the better players, but we've got a fast A hit coming out early. Barton is unable to find anything. Latno in the back of the site also taken down. strong. Davy G is doing God's work on that side.
Yeah, fair play to Dumao for coming in and even hitting that shot. And they're trading pretty well here. 1 versus 2 for Henny. And he is just at the start of the bomb site. Could maybe find a way to win this one. Bomb is going to be planted, and yeah, he wants to spend that time. It's pretty good timing. Has Death's cornered right there, but it doesn't matter. The jumping clock comes into play, and instead, it'll be the T side to pick it up. Movistar off to at least a decent start. And I mean, I don't know about how your feelings are on pistol rounds, but they most of the time seem like a bit of a coin flip to me. Rushing the A-bomb side, why not?
Rushing the side, I mean, even the players from GODSENT were where they probably were supposed to be. Just couldn't quite find all the kills there. So Movistar, they're going to be pretty happy about that one, of course. But GODSENT, they're going to force up. This is where that firepower should come into play for them.
With 3, yeah, this is so interesting. Even a Mag 7, which has apparently made a return onto Nuke.
It's got a place in the game.
It does, and especially on this map, right? We've seen that in the past. I think it's gone out of fashion for a real long time. And those smokes as well, I think it's interesting. They already used 1 of them, they had 3. I mean, I guess you could, theoretically, especially if, for whatever reason, Movistar, if they play this round slowly, those smokes could really come back to do a lot. Gonna be some great trading. 3 for 1, heading in towards the ramp room, and they're gonna be just fine. Otherwise, I mean, it could have been a cool collapse towards the lobby, but they won all the fights, so.
Everybody just held firm, held strong for Movistar. Yeah.
So you're on the GODSENT side of things too.
I'm going to slightly lean that way, but I haven't made it too much of a secret that Henny is my favorite player of all time. Bias, of course, but yeah.
Okay.
Favorite in CSGO, that is. Favorite in CSGO. Yeah.
All right.
We're going way back.
You're gonna have to try and justify that. I feel like that's
it's a rare pick, I think.
Yeah, it is.
But I like polarizing players that are, you know, outside the server, might have some problems here and there. Like he's almost like the he's kind of like the Dennis Rodman of Counter-Strike. Just constantly problems outside the server, but when he's in it, man, he has some major impact.
Well, let's not send him to North Korea anytime soon. But I appreciate it. So you're in it for like the long story arc. You're waiting for like the
redemption needs to come.
Okay.
Yeah. And I know his personality after the gaming days are over is going to be one. It's going to be storied.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. That's a lot of flavor in that pick. Just not based on not just even Counter-Strike, but the whole Henny package.
What gun does he use again? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Some pretty good stuff here again. I mean, these are the kind of rounds that I guess you're expected to win. If you win the pistol round, you sort of want to win the follow-up rounds, but it wasn't always played out that way. Sometimes you see teams screw these rounds up and the game becomes a lot more complicated. So I guess it's from Movistar's point of view, it's nice to see them just do a little bit of common work here and not lose too many rifles either. So good stuff so far.
Nothing too spectacular about this one. Well, some damage at least being inflicted, but this should be a pretty easy cleanup for Movistar. Bomb's going to be planted towards lower. Yeah, I mean, to remark more on that Henny pick, though, for my favorite, I think it's just the way that when he's in the thick of things, he can find... It almost feels like when I first started watching, he was kind of like what Brokey is today, where he could just be pinned against a corner and find 3 kills out of thin air.
Yeah.
And he was so rapid fire with that op back in the day. And he just felt like straight up one of the fastest people. And it was too obvious to pick Kenny S as a favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to be a little bit of a hipster sometimes and be like, everyone else can keep Kenny.
You can't just follow the crowd entirely.
If you like that kind of player, why not someone like Woody from the Brazilian scene? He's got that, to me, he's got that same quality. Like, the more pressure you put on him, the more likely he's going to do something really wild.
Yeah, just doesn't have the longevity to be the favorite of all CSGO. Yeah.
That's true. Fair enough, then. Well, the 4th round is kind of already here. We've got the double AWP on the CT side, both Taco and Henny. No surprise on Henny picking it up, obviously, but it's kind of an interesting pick in the 4th round. There's deep investment for that CT side. Dumao opening up with a good kill, and Lado actually following that up. Mopaz going down right away, so just right off the bat, a 3 versus 5 here, favoring GODSENT. A very, very good defense, and if they can just chill this round out a little bit, they should be able to close it out, as long as they don't, you know, like almost like rushing down into that B-bomb side. But even if the bomb goes down here, should be a pretty clean retake coming in from the CT side.
Double op will make things a little bit cumbersome, but they have so much utility that they should be able to make it work regardless, as long as they have their protocols down pat. You can see that Henny and Taco will be going for the double op push from ramp. Nice flash to set Taco up. Alex, though, he's in emo. He's going to have to find something. Death is able to maintain control of the backhauls, though, and that's going to make things very difficult for GODSENT. This might not be worth it now. The double op is still pushing forward. Taco's already on the site with it, and no, Movistar, they're cleaning this up.
Yeah, absolutely well played. Death's coming in with just a Galil and 3 kills behind it. You can see Henny's hand around, but he's not trying to win the round, and they're going to pay everything. That's so much money down the drain. I'm a little bit shocked. I definitely thought they could have done so much more work in getting that retake on board, but and they didn't even want to cancel it once they had the first couple of deaths. They were like, no, let's keep going anyway. That's shocking.
They were in deep. Yeah, they were just in so deep at that point. Taco's on the site by the time that second kill comes around backhaul, and this was just very well done by Death. So the fact that he's not traded out might be a little bit of an error on GODSENT's side, but credit to him for finding the timing on when those peaks are coming out.
Whew, all right. That is, especially playing the T side of Nuke, I think that's a pretty good start for them, and obviously puts GODSENT back on pistols. So very likely going to be a pretty smooth start right here on the side of Movistar. We'll see. Alex is down over on Secret. Actually, that's a nice deal shot, but I think that's something that I look for when I was sort of researching this game a little bit, is how much Alex likes to play on his own, really on both sides of the map. They put a lot of trust in him opening it up, and I actually think he's a really fun player. I know a lot of people, when they watch Movistar, they look at Sunpayas, and I think that's also reasonable. He's obviously got that AWP. He's one of the better performing players on the team, but I think Alex is, like, sometimes at least could be the key to understanding what they're actually doing, both on the T and CT side here.
Yeah, I would have pegged Mopaz maybe 8 months ago to be the guy that's sort of the bailout player for Movistar, but it does seem like it's shifted to be Alex. This is a nice flank from Taco. Oh, can he find another? Looking for it. Davy is able to clean things up. Oh, wait a second. That's the bomb down. This becomes really hairy for Movistar, especially given the fact that Dumao found that smoke. This is a potential round for GODSENT. You can see that both Movistar players are just going to wait for that smoke to fade, but by the time it does, they're only going to have about 20 seconds. And if they pick the wrong site after retrieving this bomb, it could be lights out for them.
Yeah, they don't have time to clear all the corners. You're absolutely right. They have to go pick this fight, win that, and then get into a bomb site all in about 20 seconds. And I think smartly, even Dumao falling all the way back from here. This is so well played. He could have stuck around, especially behind the smoke, but now this down to 10 seconds. He's up on Heaven, and he's got the perfect movement. What a brilliant round here. 7 seconds left, and GODSENT, they could have just as easily been down 5 rounds. Instead, it looks like it's possible. Alex, though, coming back in. Good kill right there, and Henny, he's already up the ladder, and he's spotted already. That's a bit of a problem. Alex trying to set up for another flashbang, not quite getting it, and trying to reposition himself. If he can get in and just maybe get a little bit further away. Henny doesn't have a kit, and surely Alex would have known that, but he's out huge off angle, and Henny just cannot read it. I thought Alex would have played a little bit more for time then, but that should have been GODSENT winning that round. I mean, not to begin with, but in that 2-on-2, they looked so good.
Yeah, you could see that Dumao at the end there really just wants more. He wanted to try to find the whole victory by his lonesome, but it wasn't to be, and that's just kind of unfortunate because it leaves Henny out to dry in that one-on-one. Coming up the vent, it's never going to be easy. He's given up a sound cue at that point, but man, Dumao did so much work. It's just the last hurdle. GODSENT were unable to get over it.
Okay, so they get their 5 rounds. They had to work for them. We're back with another double AWP setup for GODSENT. So, I mean, it's not a lot of rounds that they've had it. Last time they didn't quite make it work, and that retake didn't look very good at all. See if they can improve on that situation a little bit more. Again, walking down with Alex leading charge. He's got Damage with him, but there are a lot of rounds that I've seen so far in the demos where it's even Alex entirely on his own and everyone else is somewhere across the map. So, good that he's got a little bit of backup out here. The rest of the defense pretty much had ramp or A. So, a lot of opportunities right now for them to sneak down Secret if they wanted to. There's absolutely no one from the CT side on that lower part of the map.
Yeah, they already have 2 there, but it feels like they want to pressure towards Hut. Henny might have spotted something, but this is shaping up to be a typical 3-2 split. They're going to be testing Taco now at ramp. Are they going to go for the boost? Yes, they're going to assemble it. Sunpayas, he'll be up. And he finds the shot. Nice entry onto Taco. That might just be a round right there. There's not much GODSENT can do at this point. They already have 3 players just on A, and it doesn't look like they're too concerned with rotating.
Kind of a tough call, I guess, to make if you're down 5 rounds, but not as bad as throwing away the remaining rifles and going into the 7th round at that point. It just with almost nothing at all. So I kind of agree, and I guess they do as well. They're moving out.
Yeah, they were just going to play to contain or see if there's any freebies given, but not the case. 1 kill round does happen on Nuke occasionally. The T's are able to slip into that lower site. And GODSENT, they really seem to expect that it was going to be a late door pop, but maybe some kind of anti-stratting gone wrong in that sense, just heavily committing towards that. They despite all of the signs, the telltale signs that it was going to be a B play.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot more rounds like that with Alex trying to pave the way down through Secret like that. He does it a couple of times as well, where he actually goes into the garage in front of the wall. And this round he would have walked in at, I think, to Dumao, who's playing that garage. So like he would have been spotted there. But I think we're probably going to see a lot more of that. They just like to use him as just like this tool to go look for it. Yeah, this is a great opening. You called it right away. Should we be worried yet for GODSENT? 6-0 is this a problem?
Yes.
Yeah, worried already?
The entire playbook is open for Movistar. The conditioning is there. The outside smokes now need to be respected. Door pops need to be expected. There's just so many things that could be called by Alex in order to make a round work. So could expect Movistar to maybe loosen things up a bit. Maybe some individual players might think that there's some liberties to be taken. They're just feeling confident, but as long as they stick to the game plan, this should be a pretty solid half. But Dumao just goes right through that corner mini smoke, and he makes it work.
Looked like a fight that he should have lost, but the power of that M4A1 in terms of moving and shooting is just wild. And the Molotov is pretty well timed. Henny has to respect that a little bit. Wallbang definitely possible, but not able to hit anything this time. 4 on 5 though. They've been in this position and even better positions before GODSENT without winning the rounds, so deep breath here. They have a nice presence down below with both Lado and Taco holding their lower part. This seems like a solid defense. Movistar are going to have a hard time breaking out of this one.
This is a really strong setup. Lado's got the right eye peek, angle hold towards lower, and he has a teammate in Taco at what I call clock, but there's no clock there anymore. So that back rafter position, yeah.
35 seconds on the clock here. Oh, Lado, he's moving into the position. That is some godlike timing. Yeah, Mob has no chance at all. And they might not even realize there's a second player down here. They don't even check for a Taco. That's a lot of damage. Could have nearly been a double kill right there. 20 seconds and a 3-on-3. They should be able to get a bomb plant all of a sudden, which is probably more than Movistar could have even wished for at the beginning of this round here. Barton comes in with a kill on Damage G and swings into the bomb site, giving them no time to position themselves in an afterplant. They're immediately wiped out.
They don't know how Deaths could have gotten here. I don't think they recognize that he closed the door. They'll find out soon enough that he is not on the site. Yeah. They're really wondering how this is even possible, because he closed the door instantly. Gets one.
Oh, chance for a reload, and he's gonna almost get that second kill. It could have worked out. That is, you're right. They were even looking over towards Decon and everything. They were not sure at all.
He somehow closed the door so fast that the player scaling from Decon just didn't even see it close. But either way, solid defense from GODSENT. They sort of over-rotated towards that B bomb site, but it is what they needed in order to secure their first round. Nice retake together, and not doing it with a double op this time. They just had 4 rifles, and that seemed to be the key to success.
Sometimes when you end up having a bit of a lost streak, you just need that one round to open up the game with, and things start to feel a bit different. Quick vent dive coming through, and actually, yeah, down below, they're already ready for a bit of a fight. Dumao, he could almost walk into it. If they lose that fight again, oh, he spots him out. They had no idea. I don't think anyone was close enough to call it. They obviously know that there's a smoke there, so someone could say he could have gone vent, but there's a difference between he could have and I definitely heard him going vent. He's definitely there, and you could tell Dumao just not checking for it. And this might be a very quick round loss again. If Taco goes down, he's way out in the open. He's very exposed right here. Gonna pick up that first kill. Goes for the spray, and it's nearly a triple. He might have saved them in the round. If he doesn't get that double, it's not even worth talking about.
This becomes doable for GODSENT. They're already rotated in position. Lado and Henny at the bottom of ramp. That bomb is sort of exposed for Movistar. They're gonna have to retrieve that. Although, Movistar do have the advantage that they're in a 3-on-2. Barton's still on that upper site, and Movistar is starting to use their utility to secure these angles and make it a lot easier for themselves. They've already pushed off both of those GODSENT players, and now they can set up in the 3-on-3 post plant. This is probably done.
It's very cool. Did you notice this earlier when they were stuck on ramp, how they call the same freeze on the Movistar side and they slow everything down and they actually give GODSENT a little bit of space to make a mistake, and GODSENT haven't really given them much to work with, but I still think it's a good sign in terms of the overall structure of Movistar that they don't just feel the pressure like, hey, we're at the B bomb site, the bomb has been exposed, let's go plant it right now. Like some teams will get a little bit ahead of themselves, and Movistar seem to be pretty comfortable saying, oh, give them 10 seconds and see if they make a big mistake. And if they don't, we'll use the utility, we'll plant the bomb, and then we'll see what happens in the after plant. This is looking so solid right now.
Yep, excellent time management by Movistar. They knew what their options were, they exercised them, and a clean conversion. In a situation that maybe some other teams would have panicked, this is a team that's been playing with this 5-man lineup for some time now, and you can see that they just seem to have trust with each other. No one's gonna make the wrong move. No one thinks that they have to force the issue in a situation that can be broken down with clean utility and clean communication.
Feels like the real weakness right now is letting Movistar down into the lower part of the map to begin. It feels like that's where things unravel at the moment from GODSENT's point of view. Kind of hard to put a lot of effort into stopping them, especially outside, right? It feels like that's
There's definitely a few send-it plays to get a guy towards secret, but that's really nice between Henny and Taco. Nice 1-2. Henny even retreats by firing more off shots. That's the Henny signature, by the way. This guy, it's almost like he doesn't care about the cost of bullets because he never played earlier versions of CS. Just fires them off indiscriminately.
Although if he had that kind of firing, it would be so more effective. He's shooting through the walls.
Yeah, people would die from a mile away. Indiscriminately. Free surfaces. But that's the advantage GODSENT definitely needed. They have lost a 3v5 in the past, but it was a much different situation as Movistar had the bomb down and planted. But that's the advantage GODSENT definitely needed. Okay, well done GODSENT. Nice setup. But it was a much different situation between the two of them. Movistar had the bomb down and
it's always a discussion, isn't it? As well, this difference between, because I was sort of laying up a little bit of a conversation around can they stop them from getting down into the low part of the map and everything else. And sometimes I guess this difference you could also divert from that entire thing and say, well, let's not try and stop what they're doing, let's just play our own. Like we can actually be more proactive than that. I guess when you do something like that, you're kind of taking the initiative out of the hands of what they're doing. That can feel really like we have.
Right. I wouldn't be surprised though if Movistar moved towards a slightly more outside focused attack in the upcoming round. See that Taco is pretty pleased with his setup with Henny. Wants to give him a little, almost a kiss.
Yeah, breaking all the rules of firearms
in the upcoming round. Just sticking them right at each other, yeah.
It's not great, but fine. It worked. They can celebrate. 10th round is coming up, and it's still a really powerful lead. And in terms of the economy, they still have some to work with here on the T side. So 10th round is coming up, and they're not done yet. GODSENT, they need to win a couple of rounds back to back here to really start having an impact on this first half T side. So all of them in lobby. They're not done yet. GODSENT, they need to
might be an exec coming out. Barton's going to be challenged on this one. Top HUD player coming out. He's going to find one. Laudo, his teammate falls, and that's it. The site's already doomed. Doom might have a little bit of an opening. Wow, he's sneaking right through that smoke. That's two smokes that he just passed through. But Santiago is already posted on the angle.
No Molotov on the hot player, but there was a lot of Molotovs landing down on the site behind the vent and obviously behind the A-bomb site itself. Behind those silos, made it very, very hard to move out of the fire while dodging the flashbangs while also defending the bomb sites. A lot of things happening all at once. Taco, almost like he wanted to go for the defuse to move out of the fire while dodging. Thinks better of it while also defending the bomb sites. A lot of things happening. Well, you said this earlier. The problem is the playbook is so open for Movistar, right? So they've had the executes going down lower. They've had some success at ramp even. Now they have this. There's a lot of things that are working for them at the moment.
Right, and we saw that Duma was already starting towards lower. It's like GODSENT predicted that Movistar were going to do some sort of secret play, but the fact is that Movistar thought 2 steps ahead. That was almost the obvious counter to what they were doing, and so they just sent it up. Yeah, it just feels like Movistar do have a lot of options in this game right now, so GODSENT, they're going to try to slow things down. They take a timeout and they try to rethink.
Okay. We haven't really felt the effect of Henny yet in this game. And he's had the AWP. He's had some opportunity at least to try and flex a little bit with that weapon, but it's been 2 kills so far.
Yeah, I find Henny could be his most powerful when the game slows down, and it's almost kind of like, this is such a ridiculous comparison to make, but think Guardian 3 years ago, 4 years ago, where he could just, when the game slowed down, he just was looking the right place more times than not. But this game is moving at a pace that it's almost like Henny can't get involved unless he's just starting in the right spot.
And Nuke is a really unforgiving map if you're in the wrong spot as an AWP player, obviously. Dabby G comes charging. Oh, that is some really important coverage from the high ground there. Otherwise, that Hut player would have been dead. Sunpayas so far with the only kill on the side of the Movistar team, so should be a good round right here. We've got to be real careful, but 2 on 4 is looking pretty good. That round, though, I bet if you replay that round, or at least the opening into the A bomb side in slow motion, you'd see that some of that is kind of on the edge of a knife. It could have gone easily the other way. One more kill there happening for Movistar, and they probably get a bomb plant, and it's a lot worse. We'll see.
Yeah, and this time Lado didn't just get easy entry to. He's able to find one, which probably activated Barton a little bit more, made the 2 kills he found a little bit easier. And Movistar, they've saved in these kinds of situations before, and I'm expecting that to happen once again.
Okay, walking away from the whole thing. I guess it does make sense. You're in the 11th round, and the bank is not infinitely deep, so why give them too much to work with anyway? Okay, going to be a 3rd round on the side of GODSENT. And trying to go back to what worked earlier, it's hard to really fault them for it.
Yeah, you don't usually expect the A hit twice. This time, though, they do it a lot faster, and I don't think they had all the Molotovs that created so much pressure 2 rounds prior to this, or the round prior to this. Either way, GODSENT are able to put it together. So they're finding some footing in this game. There's still potential for them to even up the half. Definitely not the start that they were looking for, but maybe they're slow starters.
Yeah, which I mean, again, which is definitely fine. They're not out of the game at all. I'm trying to think of what kind of other executes we could see out of the Movistar side. If they want to keep up a little bit of pace here and maybe make those AWP players a little bit uncomfortable. Like a cool variation of this is obviously going really still fast towards the A-bomb side, but having the main point of entry be mini and just sort of like gliding from silo onto the mini hut and then swinging down there. And especially if they are worried about, you know, like if they're worried about you going down below, they could have had someone like Duma or Barton already down below. All right, Alex again playing a little bit on his own. I feel like that's kind of to be expected. I feel, in fact, so much so that if I was GODSENT and I found Alex out here, I'd make it a safe bet that the rest of the team is going to be basically in lobby. Dabby G goes down, trying to put some pressure on, and man, it would have been cool if that would have worked, because then Alex's position could have come into play as a secondary sort of chess piece in there, but now doesn't really work quite the same.
Well, Henny has discovered Alex's position. There's not too much more to work with for Movistar. It does feel a little bit awkward to save this early in the round, but can't put it past him. Seen it before. Well, they are posturing. They're
waiting.
Yeah, they're seeing if GODSENT will give them anything.
Which hopefully, again, in the desk we're talking about, obviously the experience for Taco and Henny especially, you would assume that they haven't. They're gonna call that pretty quickly. So like, don't do anything silly. Yeah, they're backing out already. Wow, they're real careful.
Man. All right, Movistar, it's almost like they're trying to triple dip. This has been a lot. It's been the A hit on A hit on A hit sort of rounds where a lot of the success they found, not that they haven't had a successful A hit so far, but the secret lockdowns have been really effective for them so far. They might go back to that.
From an ethics point of view, Maui, once you've double dipped, surely triple dipping is no worse.
Yeah, no, well, at that point, your germs are my germs.
Yeah, like you've already done it. Then at that point, you should like.
Yes.
The rest of it is for free. You're actually it's like a huge return on investment. Like you've already.
Yeah, just start getting the most mileage for every chip at that point.
Exactly.
Or yeah, whatever you're dipping at that point.
Yeah. So there we go. That's the lesson that we've learned so far.
Yeah, after a while, if you're living in close enough proximity, just dip as much as you want.
Just don't stop counting. It's 8-4 right now, going into the 13th round, and that was good. I'm glad to see Godsent wake up a little bit here. I was getting a little bit distressed at the beginning. It felt like you never really want to see a team. And Godsent, I mean, again, they've been having their own ups and downs, and obviously now that Henny's on the team, I think that even if his performance right now is not amazing, it puts a smile on my face too, I'm not gonna lie. So I feel like you want to see them have a real impact here at the beginning.
It takes them in a very new direction, as the desk was talking about. Kassad really liked the fact that they're adding a primary opper, and I have to agree with him. It was kind of weird to see the juggling op of Godsent before. Even though Henny's not having the most impact, this makes everybody it's a little easier for them to focus on their roles now.
Yeah.
Oh, what a shot.
He walked right in that one. It's so cool when you see it from, well, it's not cool if you're Henny, but it looks like Sunpayas almost doesn't even stop walking. It looked like he's still slightly moving when he takes that shot.
Yeah, it's like he just mastered the mechanics of the game.
Nice map control though, Taco. Very, very aggressive. I mean, this actually, even being a man down, this puts them in a really interesting position because they pretty much know where Movistar are right now. The question is if they can find a way to flank them in time before they get maybe down below, or even they're actually flanking all the way around towards Heaven instead.
Ooh, this is so interesting. I mean, they throw the somewhat obvious smokes for a Heaven wrap, the locker room one, but oh, they still get the kill anyways. Perfect flash from Alex to set that whole engagement up. Barton falls, but now Dumao, we might get shot in the back here. There are some players waiting. He doesn't find the timing. There it is.
Yeah, well played. And follow-up spray. Good headshot to take down Alex. And now it's a 2-1-3. They still have 40 seconds. Some pairs. Oh, it doesn't matter. The nade is there. Yeah, that is absolutely amazing. Clock, though, is working against them quite a bit now. Sub 30 seconds. Trying to see if they can make their way up. Bomb is on Sunpayas, but Lado, he's got the right... Ooh, wait a minute. Might have almost overspoken there. Seemed like he knew what he was doing. 20 seconds now. Spotted out in Mini. They definitely know something is coming, and he picks up a Galil instead. Ditches the AWP and goes for the part now. Just 12 seconds on the clock, and Taco, how can he get up? I don't think he's going to make it out of this event. He's got the knife out, and Death will take him down.
Yeah. Well put together by Movistar. They go back towards outside, and even though it was a somewhat obvious path for them, smoking off the mini garage, smoking off the locker room windows, that generally does indicate you're going for a Heaven wrap of sorts. They still make it all work. The utility was perfect from that flash to get into Heaven, the nade onto that player CT to find that trade. Very well put together by Movistar.
Yeah, this was almost the redeeming moment, wasn't it?
Boom.
Just playing battleships.
Yep.
It's a good hit. 9-4. Oh, if they lose this round, Godsent, the cash that they have is going to be so miserable for the 15th round. They really need to win this. They need to win these 9-6 to stay competitive, and that's a pretty good start.
What? Oh, what? Was he falling? Okay, all right. Well, we'll take it. Dumao finds 2, and Movistar, they still have that path towards lower, and there's actually nobody here from Godsent yet. This might be similar to a round we've seen previously, but no, Taco's going to get into position. This is very strong from him.
I think he was fallen while still spraying and adjusting for the recoil spray patterns. Like, that's a lot to accomplish all in one go. Well done. Yeah. Taco being down here, even just for the ears, even just to listen, is such a huge thing. And obviously with timing like that, you can't really go wrong. Big double kill. Mopaz on his own, 1 versus 5. It is never going to happen here. Could do some damage, could try and take some weapons away, which still can have a bit of an impact in the 15th round, but winning it is quite a different matter. And yeah, backup is being called for. Pretty good spray here, but it's not going to make a difference at the end. A 5th round on the side of Godsent, and going into the last round of the half, which, I don't know, they're set up all right. I think if they get to 6 rounds, they can stay competitive.
Yeah, I love that Taco, when he was in emo there, just casually reloads as his teammates are coming down the ramp. That's a nice little flex. Just kind of makes it off. Okay, we got to see this. Yep, he's falling. Yep, he's free falling.
Disgusting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little gross, but he had the right idea. They were around those smokes. He was aimed in the general direction. But well done, and good rotation from Taco on top of that to secure the round. Force buy for round number 15 from Movistar doesn't allow them the same wealth of options as we've seen in ones prior to this, but you're still going to get Alex outside.
Yeah, sneak it around just with Galil. So he's going to have to do a lot of work. Sam's actually standing on the chairs might have saved him a little bit there. Otherwise, might have been sprayed down. They come running right through the smoke. The timing is good. dabiG taking down Taco. Strong start right here. 15th round, and it starts out 4-on-5 in favor of Movistar. They get ramp, which is a nice position to do some work in. And actually, they come back and look for Barton. That almost seems like a read, like something they would have seen in a demo that actually we can come back sometimes to lobby and find a player there. Still losing Alex, though, when Henny only his 3rd kill of the half so far. Adding even a little bit here, get him warmed up. Oh, and he no-scopes him, taking down Mopass. What an incredible flex.
That was a sick shot from Henny. Sunpius in the 1v3 will be getting flanked. So that's a 6th round for GODSENT there. Not bad at all in terms of the recovery. Did see some warning signs for Henny, though, and his sort of lack of impact until round number 15. But that is not too bad as the game heats up.
Yeah, incredible stuff. We'll be right back with the second half coming up.
I describe our play style like it's kind of aggressive, and we follow some rules. And when the opponent least expecting, we break the rules and we change the pace of the game. So yeah, I think this is the most dangerous thing that we have.
After struggling at the RMR event, it's actually just the result of our team struggling internally. Just before that tournament, we were not in a good place. We had a lot of problems, especially in the beginning of the year. Health problems, stuff that are out of our control, and I think that we kind of lost our pace, especially in this beginning of the year. So the RMR was just the result of everything that went bad for us in 2022. So I'm just looking for a fresh start, and especially now with a new player, we're gonna work even harder to do better.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed members of the audience. It is a 9-6 half in favor of Movistar Riders in the opening map of this best of 3 versus GODSENT. We're on Nuke, and I think this is It's a pretty respectable scoreline right now. It's not done yet, though. They sort of woke up towards the end, GODSENT, that they could do a lot more damage.
We saw why Movistar decided to pick this one. The way they were able to break down some of the mid rounds, slow things down, even in man disadvantaged situations. It was impressive stuff. GODSENT, on the other hand, it took a while to wake up in this. It took a while for them to put it all together, but now they're on the offense, so things shouldn't get any easier, but maybe that firepower will be there for them to lend a helping hand.
This is what they need right now. All of them in lobby. One unit moving around. Pretty common stuff again, playing the pistol round. You kind of sometimes have to just roll the dice a little bit. Trying to see if he can land a headshot there. Pius also flicking away with the USP, but not really connecting with anything. So they control ramp at least for the minute. That's a pretty good start. We've got a lot of time on the clock. Damage playing a huge off angle. Oh, beautiful headshots to follow it up. Mopaz at the back of the bomb site helping out. He's going to land a single headshot, but the bomb is lost back there. So even if they find Mopaz in time, they have to travel all the way back to the ramp and try and pick up the bomb. Probably fighting Movistar along the way. It's a really bad position to be in right now. Dumao and Henny, they kind of need a little bit of a mistake here from the CT side. They need someone to mess this up and maybe overextend a bit and try and put it into a 2-on-2. Nice jump. Oh, that's awkward. Who closed that door, I wonder?
Yeah, that was a sort of an opportunity, but Pius still has control of the bomb. Movistar still poking and prodding. That's an important headshot to find. Makes things a lot easier as now Henny is between a rock and a hard place. Is able to come up with one, but Movistar, they close it out. That kind of felt like GODSENT at the end of that round were in a level of death run. They had to go such a far way, and there were so many obstacles in their path. Just all these Movistar players that were just taking little pot shots at them.
Yeah, it's that position that he plays at the beginning, Alex, when it's so weird, because obviously we've seen it many times before. I still feel like whenever you come down that ramp, you're just not expecting it, because it's obviously an all-in position.
Yes. It's almost a read that it is going to be a lower hit.
Yeah. And once you reveal yourself, you can't really escape. You're just, yeah. And he was eventually taken down, but some good headshots before it got started. Okay. Sunpayas sticking with the fight outside.
So, somewhat labored, but I have no doubt that he'll clean it up. Alex has been really solid so far. Scoreline doesn't truly reflect that, but the impact and the amount of rounds that he was able to find for his team with his space creation, that's where it counts.
Yeah, he was being really active in opening up the lower part of the map, and I know he plays kind of a lot of the time anyway the mirror position on the CT side, so he'll be the guy diving the vent first and going down lower and coming up secret and sort of fighting outside, which I guess you don't always have to play the mirrored position, but it can be nice because you become a local expert, you know?
Yeah, you understand the meta of the position from both sides. I think most teams generally like to do that, but sometimes you just got to put the star rifler in all the star spots. So
yeah. What's Taco doing? He's talking to the team, I'm guessing. For a minute, it looked like he was disconnected, but...
Yeah, he's doing one of the old school, existence timeouts here?
Yeah.
Just hanging out in spawn, or where he's safe, can go over some stuff. What's the next round's game plan? They will be buying in the next round, so he's going to be talking about how they're going to get the ball rolling on their offense here. I wouldn't mind a Dumao go kill round. That's definitely one in the playbooks for GODSENT.
He's having himself actually a really cool game. I'm a little bit shocked to see it. He's got 17 kills, and when they're this far behind, that says a lot. So yeah, maybe that is the call. Send him out, open it up.
Yeah, we'll see. Sometimes you got to let the hot hand shoot. Don't cool it off. But I expect a little bit more depth. GODSENT have been playing Nuke for the entirety of this lineup's history. Obviously, that being said, it was before Henny joined the roster, but it's one that they were trying to incorporate into their pool on their very first trip to Europe about a year and some months ago.
Alex straight over there, making the long run. Not afraid to get caught either. Yeah, and the rest of the team hanging out. Alex a little bit more on his own. I guess we'll see all AKs. One Galil on the side of GODSENT here. Yeah, they're going as a group. Not afraid of any kind of lobby push here. The flashbang is in. Maybe not the best weapon with the FAMAS, but he does a lot of damage and gets an enormous amount of information. So, right at the end, Barton, I'm not even sure. Did he come back for the bomb? It looked like he had made it past already. And then he still fell. Sunpaya's gonna get smoked off, trying to neutralize the effect of that AWP. But there's still a 3-on-4 right now. It is looking pretty good for Movistar in this round so far.
Yeah, there's not too many options for GODSENT here. They still have a smoke to work with, but with Taco's health, it becomes very questionable if they even want to go for this. So yeah, they are going to send Dumao out, but it looks like he's going to find the poor timing. Sunpius peeks right into him as he's clearing CT. 35 seconds left, and GODSENT, there's a case to save here, but it does seem like Taco wants to give this one a shot.
Jumping up in heaven, making a lot of noise, but doesn't really matter. He's got backup down on the low ground. Death's picking up a couple of kills here. Wow. That didn't really work out the way that it expected. I mean, it's a classic nuke play, though.
Right.
Flashing behind that red container.
Would have loved to see some kind of setup like this from GODSENT coming out in the first half, but yeah, that is a really clean little play. Alex getting set up, finding all that info. Even though he only finds one frag, he got Taco down to 1 HP. I think he took a couple other people into near red territory. So Movistar shutting down that first gun round. Well done.
The drop-off right now, looking at Dumao's kills to the rest of the team, is pretty drastic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not a good look for GODSENT. I'll say that. It's not been a team effort in terms of putting stats on a page. This just feels like Movistar have a better grasp of the map right now in a lot of different ways. Those spams were not working out for GODSENT, but Movistar, they're finding the timings on those. And GODSENT, they've at least found the lower halls, but man, look at this proactive play from Mopaz. He's already behind 5v4. You're not going to be expecting this if you're Taco.
No, definitely not. And yeah, he's kind of hoping for the opposite, right? He's hoping that he's... Oh, it's very awkward indeed.
Gets it done.
Why are those always the harder kills to get? Just always is.
It's just how the cookie crumbles. Just how the game plays out, honestly. When someone looks away from you, it's just harder to get their attention.
Penny is on his own. Maui, if you had to sell this like a politician, like you said you thought GODSENT are gonna win, doesn't look so good right now. Obviously best of 3, so there's time, but if you had to sell it like you were right anyway, even if currently doesn't look like it, what's the pitch for you being right in spite of what we're seeing on our screens?
The pitch from a political point of view is that GODSENT, they had to wake up a little bit in this one. You know, they had to have their cup of joe.
Okay.
It's coming up now, and we're going to be going to their map pick next, and Mirage, that's where the individual skill will take over.
All right, I like that. That's a classic. It's not really like jet lag, but without the jet lag, basically.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. That's respectable. It's good to have some of those classic excuses sometimes.
you need them in your back pocket. It's how you motivate your teams sometimes.
Yeah, key to a good excuse is delivering it really quickly. If you think too much about it, like, it's better to just go with something fast, you know?
Right. And they're just getting picked apart right now.
Yeah.
This looks kind of fun if you're Deaths. You just get to rain hell from above. Just almost like an aim map when he swings out there.
Yeah, he even came back for a couple of taps at the end. He was like, you know what? I think I can still do it.
It's almost like, why am I not dead yet? Why am I allowed to go this long and keep shooting?
Hard to recover this round. They have Henny and Barton with some health. It could be swung back. There is a way. If you can surprise them coming in from heaven like this, I don't think you can, but yeah, if you catch the right kill at the right time, maybe you could open it up. Now they've made a lot of noise, so they definitely realized. And that flashbang, yeah, he knew Mopaz. He realized someone else probably threw that flashbang for the peek up there. I'm going to go look for that guy, and instead he still got caught. 30 seconds on the clock right here. And they're down to a 4-on-3. There is a way. Very slim chance, but it can be done. Alex gets traded. Now it's looking a little bit more unlikely. 20 seconds, and Death, he was looking down from below. That whole time, he was actually just looking at that, and he shot him right through. Doesn't seem quite fair, does it?
Just feels like everything's working for Movistar. They're shooting through smoke, finding kills, shooting through walls that almost serve as a gimmick in terms of the design of that bomb site. Everything's working for them. Good trades from GODSENT at the very end to try to piece that round together, but a nice proactive play to kick things off from Davy in order to find that one. Just GODSENT are taking so many casualties as they're trying to get into position to even take the bomb site. Sometimes the road to the site can be the most deadly one, and GODSENT are definitely experiencing that. Kind of sometimes a lack of utility, lack of clean protocols, and sometimes you just get shot through all your utility.
And none of it works. It's a miserable start in every way right now. And I guess that's probably the feeling that GODSENT must be left with at the moment. It's like we're not even really getting to play we're not playing our game at all right now.
No, this is
being strung along.
Yeah, and from every interview every player is given, the first thing they want to do is play their own game. That is priority number one. If that can't come to be, well, what do you have left?
It's very hard to adjust to them at a minimum. Oh no! Right through the smoke and damage you with an orc on the other side. It's a great triple. And he's waiting. He wants all of them, and he nearly could have. Here's something that's smart. He didn't want to get he knew that if he starts reloading, that's always when someone comes charging through the smoke. He's going for the ace. I respect it, but he's going to have to settle for the quad kill instead.
Nice one, Davy G. A little bit of stat padding. Very, very nice. Looks like we're going to be heading out of this map rather shortly. There is still an opportunity for GODSENT. Let's not count them out completely just yet, but it is a steep uphill battle. Good control from Davy G. And Movistar, they're laughing. They're having a good time. Kicking off the Pro League well. The ESL Pro League Week 3.
Yeah, I think this is a very, very good sign. It's just always going to feel so much better when you're especially in best of 3, you're laughing your way into that second map. It's pretty quick at the moment. 15-6 here. GODSENT. I think you're right though. I mean, even if the full comeback to get into overtime, it would be very difficult to do. I still think there's always a chance that you can start to wake up a couple of more players, right? Like Dumao needs at least 1 or 2 more people at his level going into the second map. That's going to be super important.
Yeah, sometimes if this game just goes a little bit longer, GODSENT just believes in themselves that, hey, even though we got stomped in terms of our tactics on the map, we woke up in terms of individuals, and that can go a long way. Alex testing things over the smoke, and he was unable to find the shot. Nice read from Alex there. Knows exactly what's going on. He hears the footsteps as they're coming on in. But that's going to be it. Movistar take it 16-6. Very clean affair at that. That was their pick of Nuke, and man, did it look good for them.
Yeah, almost flawless, really. And at the end, we saw more shots to the smoke. I mean, just a class performance here for Movistar Riders. And there's not much else to say. It's going to have to be a real big comeback on the second map for GODSENT ultimately, because they didn't really even get to warm up on that first map. That's pretty shocking.
No, they didn't get too much there. It does seem like we will be having an interview in just a moment, probably with one of the winners from the side of Movistar Riders. That'll be coming from Heku. But yeah, I want to see a little bit more from Henny. I want to see more from some of the individuals from GODSENT. I think Yanko posted it that, well, looks like we got that interview from Heku coming up.
Let's see.
Yeah, Ma, we are ready for an interview. Again, it's going to be Mopus. The reason why I really want to make an interview with you, because we can see what is actually happening on the server, but the player cam is actually not showing what is happening on your table. Can you explain all of this setup, all of the things you have?
Just for example, the white thing is a warmer, electrical warmer, that because I have a problem in my wrist. There's a carpal tunnel, so I need to just to have the hand warm. And for example, all the other things are just like amulets, something like giving me luck. Just for example, the pictures is me and my brother, the guy who introduced me to CSGO. And for example, below the BenQ is just like a few things that my family and 2 friends give me just to give me luck. So it's something that I really appreciate, and I want always to have them with me.
I mean, so far we can see that luck is on your side. When it comes to your opponents, just like MIBR, another Brazilian team, they decided to go for Ancient against you. It didn't work out for MIBR during the Tavica. Do you think it will work out for GODSENT?
It can be. For example, I mean, I guess that for me, GODSENT is a better team than MIBR, so Maybe it's going to work for them, but we are gonna try to smash them anyway. We don't know what's gonna happen, but at least we are going to give our best, like always.
Looking forward to see your best. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Well, there's absolutely no pause for Mo Pause. That's right, ladies and gents. It's going to be an easy start here for the Riders, the Movistar Riders, that is. Let me go ahead and say that most accurately. Taco's GODSENT really flat-footed right here, not really coming out strong, swinging. But, hey, early days, that's what they say, or at least that's what they want you to believe. In map one of this series, I'm here with Kassad and Yenko on the case. Kassad, let's start with the T-side woes of GODSENT.
You know, when they say, like, we're going to play our own game, this is exactly what I mean. You know, they were able to do anything they want. They were so versatile, mostly outside, like, diagonal smokes, going ramp, going secret, upper hits, hitting ramp as well. And they were allowed to do it. Like, CT side from GODSENT, there wasn't any. Literally, there was no outside aggression. The rotations were slow. Everything was like, you know, disconnected. On the CT side, the only rounds they got was basically on multi-kills of Taco or somebody else who actually got a double or even triple or something like that. But all in all, very versatile T side from Movistar Riders, and they got what is, you know, they wanted, like 9 rounds, which is pretty much enough for you to win the map.
Yeah, it doesn't help when you start 6-0 down. And let's go straight into those rounds, Trace, right? Like what Kasad was talking about. Well, the reason for them having like problems on the CT side mainly was because, you know, it doesn't help that in the first gun round, you have a 5v3 situation that you can't just close out, right? Like they tried to go for this Rob's play up top, right? Basically pushing through the smoke, then they go down with the bomb through it, but they're in a 3v5. GODSENT here, you just need to group up, not give them any duels, wait, take your time. You can see how these two players, the spacing is not there. Like one guy pushed back Vents, the other is using nades for long. Like you just need to stick together, use that body system, make sure the trade comes in. Now it's all of a sudden went from like an 80-85% win rate for GODSENT in this round. With those 2 kills, it plummets down to, I would say, like 15%. They lose out that round. That's the first gun round done and dusted, right? You're 4-0 down. It sucks. Life is horrible. Nothing's great. And then you move on to the second gun round, right? 5-0, you're down. They just do this boost is pretty standard nowadays if the T's have an op, and they're just going to peek Taco, who has an op of his own on ramp. They push ramp instantly after this, and GODSENT just has to save. So you lose a 5v3, and then you just have to save in a 4v5 after 1 entry kill. That's just no fun.
Also, it shows you, like, when you start on a CT half of Nuke with, like, double op in the first 2 gun, that's a huge risk, economy-wise and obviously the style-wise, right? If you end up losing people like that, if you go in a retake with a spacing like we just showed, it's simply a disaster. So it's a great risk from GODSENT. It didn't pay out. It shows, like, that the Nuke is not there yet. Obviously, Henny, I mean, we talk about Henny. We know how good he is, right? But how much have he been playing CS in the recent weeks? Or when did the change actually happen? Like, we don't know any of those details, so, you know, we need to wait a little bit more.
And the truth is, on that notion alone, like, how much impact could you expect to have from, say, Henny in our game that was single digits?
The thing is, like,
I mean, we're not talking about a close game.
They started CT half on Nuke, right? You expect aggression from the op outside, but nothing really happened. You know, it was very, very difficult for him to get something going. So,
well, also the problem is, like we mentioned in the pregame, right? Particularly GODSENT, you know, it's not like Henny came in for an opper and that they had a system of play that was designed, you know, for an opper to thrive. Like they were actually, you know, it was probably the exact opposite. So it's not like he could just slot into some position. You could even see Taco during, you know, very early on, the 3rd round of their T side. He's like using the timeout to explain some things. I wonder if they had times to go over all the strats, or, you know, which smoke, who needs to throw, and things like that.
Guys, I really do have to kick it your way when I ask if the series ends on Ancient. Like,
I believe so.
You do the honors, please.
I believe so, because the map, like Ancient, they lost against Tents in that weird overtime game, the IEM Katowice playing stage, where they're like, but Phelps was playing there. There was a comfort map for them. Right now, we don't know. Like I said, we don't know how much time Henny spent with them, and like playing all those maps. And map like in Ancient is a very structural map, and it needs to be like practice before you go into it.
I'm expecting more from GODSENT, but I have to tell you, Trace, right now, it's not looking good.
It's not looking good, my goodness. And neither are any of the memes that are coming in from you guys. Shame on you all. Hashtag EPL meme review. Bring them in. Make them about Kasad. Make them about GODSENT. Make them about whatever in the hell you want. Just make sure that it's safe for work. We're going to go to a break and come back with Ancient, with Anders and Maui Snake, Counter-Strike's hottest and newest commentary duo.
Love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Choose nades, choose a smoke, choose a flashbang. Choose team badges to support your favourite CSGO team. Choose an ESEA Premium membership. Choose routes you know bring in wins. Choose pro video tips. Choose the fan club wars. Choose behind the scenes content. Choose good grades. Choose guns you know you can shoot right. Choose bingo. Choose the equipment you know is going to get your team the win thanks to heat maps. Choose the CSGO Hub Premium. The complete package to help you and your squad achieve all your CSGO goals.
The map that I like the most right now is Ancient because I've been studying the map a lot. It's a new map, and I went really deep on this map to study and get new things and create new things too. So probably Ancient, I would say, but let's not consider Ancient because it's a new map, like I said. So I would go for Inferno. I think it's a map that it's really balanced and it's really nice to play, and every team knows how to play Inferno, so there's always something new to change and do on the map. So I would say, if not Ancient, because it's a new map, Inferno.
It's your time to shine, show them who you are. Stronger, gotta go faster, gotta get better, gotta work harder. It's fight or flight now, get up now. Go make the move, go for the goal, lead up the stadium, you know how it's done. Stand up, go what it takes to fight back, don't stop until you back out, give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, go what it takes to fight back, don't stop until you back out, give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out. Stand up, go what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you back out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, go what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you back out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle.
Hey everybody, I am next to the player booth right now. During the break, players went outside. I tried to eavesdrop, but unfortunately I don't speak Portuguese or Spanish. But it kind of seemed like Movistar Riders were just enjoying each other's company, while GODSENT were kind of just discussing what happened during Nuke and what is their plan for Ancient. And let's not delay it any longer and go to the second map with Maui and Anders.
Yeah, thank you, Haku. What kind of a player are you, Maui, in terms of a loss like this for GODSENT? If you're on this team, would you be the You're just sort of the light of the party, the guy to, you know, pick everyone back up, make some jokes, get them back in the mood, or are you just in a corner silent?
No, I'm not. If anything, I'm the one that's gonna try to bring it back. I mean, the thing is, the reality is that GODSENT, they're just getting their feet wet with this new 5-man lineup. They shouldn't feel too bad about what just happened on Nuke because this is their map pick now. They have a chance to rewrite where this series is going.
Yeah, that's a good point. Ancient is going to be coming up, and yeah, they did just not really get properly started on Nuke, so they're going to have a second chance to do it right here, right now. GODSENT going to be starting on the T side with Movistar on the CT side. Second map, of course, in the best of 3. I believe the final map is Mirage, if we get to it.
Yes.
So that would be exciting. I'd love to see that, but they have to make it through this first stage to begin with. Lado is in the middle. Actually, a lot of pressure applied. He spots 2, and what a headshot. I don't even think he necessarily needs to keep up this fight, although now he can't really fall back, and Alex will find him. That's still a pretty big impact, and I like that start. I think he was set up with a flashbang. I think Taco threw that from T-spawn, basically. So he had a little bit of assistance in doing that.
Ooh, nice shot from Sun Pius. He's going to hold over this long position. Another nice one onto Henny. Leaves just Doom out in the 1-on-3. Can Sun Pius find a third frag in the round? Looks like it'll be Alex. 3 kills for him. And that's going to be a nice start for Movistar. Always Ancient, of course. Most CT-sided map in the pool. Really, really sometimes feels essential to win that pistol round on T-side when you're up against elite teams. But we are seeing GODSENT just kind of relinquish this one. They don't want to try to control the economy. They are simply sitting back with that flash. Taco seems to have some ideas with these flashes, though, so I'm never really counting him out of at least finding some damage. Not going to look for a round victory, but 1 or 2. That's all we're looking for, Anders.
I mean, this is one of our favorite things, isn't it? It's a $200 investment, and you don't. 1 kill here would have made the money back. Now they're not going to get it, but
they got stuck somehow.
Yeah, they got stuck a little bit, but I still think it's really, really hard to argue against. It's such a minimal, you know, throw into the round. You just need a little bit. Good hold, though, on the side of Movistar. They're going to be quite happy. I remember, I mean, this is a lifetime ago now, but I remember when I used to play sort of online Danish competitive cups in like 1.3 or something like that.
Yeah.
This was a huge problem that I had to deal with at one point. I had to, because I just became very silent when we were losing. Like, and that's, you know, that kind of silence that everyone on the team can feel.
Yes.
It's so hard as a player, I think.
Just brooding.
Yeah, and everyone's like, oh, you know, great. He's angry. Like, you know, so you have to. That's a really hard thing to try and solve because you actually bring the whole team down. Oh, that's a very good trade right there. Taco trying to get revenge there. Barton going to come with a kill on Alex, and this is a great opening right now. A lot of speed behind this for GODSENT, and they should be able to get this bomb plant on the B bomb side.
Some excellent pace. Davy still holds on to the long position. Is he going to find an angle on a Henny there? Oh, almost. And there's still a smoke on Dumao. Curious where he decides to toss that, but he's pretty far back right now. And Movistar, they're testing this, but not going to find anything. I think one question, Anders, you and I had when we were looking at the demos of GODSENT before this was who was going to replace that sort of Phelps cave aggression?
Yes.
I think we got our answer in round number 3 here.
And what a hard thing to replace as well. There are not many players like Phelps out there who can be playmakers like that.
Yeah, that's kind of Phelps' specialty. That's one of the reasons why when he first joined the SK lineup with Fur, Fallen, all of them, it was almost like, well, now we have 2 Furs on the team.
Yeah.
What's going on? This is a little much, huh? But Taco and Barton, they take up the point in Cave early on in the round, and they're able to find the trades. I like how just certain Barton is that he wants to take the fight. You know, running through a smoke right there. A lot of players say, you know what, let's look for something else. But on Ancient, if you have an opportunity for a trade, sometimes even if it's a 30-70, you just take those odds. You just have to, because getting any sort of footing on the T side, especially early on when the economy is fragile for the CTs, that's when it's incredibly powerful.
It's actually, the math is really rough you're right on this map, because it might be that the 70-30 kind of thing is actually, it's only going to get worse from here on out. So
exactly,
if you let him get away and he gets to throw up the smoke, then the rest of your team who are trying to come up the B ramp now have to deal with an extra player that's you know, you just let escape, and and it gets worse from there on out. So yeah, making the most out of out of maybe a bad position. There we go. Stickers.
Yeah, it's even
Classic.
got the ESL logo on it.
2-1. GODSENT finding that round. If they can win this next one, they've set themselves up really, really nicely. Some players holding the A-bomb side on his own. Alex alone in this B-bomb side at the beginning, and what a catch. Taco, absolutely. He could almost have won the round right here in this next kill. If he gets it, that might just be the trick. And, oh man, that MP9, oh, he's in so much trouble. Time to pack up and leave. Mopaz gonna be a bomb plant on the other side. There's not much he can do to stop that.
Movistar already saving on this one.
Yeah.
Nice entry from Taco. I'm loving what I'm seeing from him. Just running on up, finding timings like that. 2 rounds this early on Ancient. Still early days, but if you can go 50-50 on rounds, you're in a very strong position. So, well done. Almost curious for Movistar to kind of give it up so early, giving the T's this kind of... Oh, well... Yeah, giving them any kind of momentum, though, is a little bit dangerous. But we'll see if that comes back to bite them, or if Movistar know that fighting in the next round is the better option.
They were really far away. And I mean, I think interestingly, from the point of view of Alex, that is not that uncommon for people. The timing is amazing for Taco, obviously, but that is one of the, I think, better ways to win rounds on the T side of Ancient right now is actually to try and win that fight at the ramp and just, you know, you can even, I think you could defend throwing a bunch of rounds away just to do that. Even if you lose them, you're like, well, yeah, but if we get 1 or 2 kills in, like, it's good enough, basically.
It does feel like one of the better early round 50-50s, which is something that Ancient doesn't have very many of. Yeah, so I will say one thing. Okay, Barton tries to go for a fast play towards A, taken down by Sun Pius. Probably not expecting the op to be here so early on. And there's still some pressure going that direction, but GODSENT finally having a round with multiple approaches simultaneously. And it works out wonderfully. Lato takes down Alex on the site. Mopaz being held by Taco. Oh, doesn't quite hit the shot, but that bomb will be planted. And now Movistar, they're very out of position for this retake.
Yeah, once again, they had 3 people at the A-bomb side. Even after getting the opening kill with the AWP, they kept bringing more people in. They were probably a little bit too oversure that it was going to be some kind of an A hit, which, in fairness, when we were watching the GODSENT demos before the game, that's something that we did see them go A.
Yes.
Probably a little bit more than most teams. So it's possible that Movistar have watched the same games and thought, all right, we should be preparing for some A pressure early on.
And even look at the first 4 rounds prior to this one. A lot of kind of one-dimensional attacks coming out from GODSENT. Maybe they throw one person there for a mid sort of pressure play. But beyond that, it's been pretty much one note in terms of just coming up ramp as a group, coming through cave as a group. And Movistar probably, once again, read that GODSENT seemed to be going for these fast, single-dimensional plays. But that's just not the case. This is a little bit more dynamic in terms of the approach, and it's a little bit more what I'm used to seeing for GODSENT, where they have those multiple points of attack simultaneously. Anders, you related it to some other teams, kind of in the Eastern European region.
Yeah, VP, one of them, yeah. I think VP's style is so interesting.
Yeah, and I think GODSENT is trying to emulate that sort of style, that they just have a multi-faceted approach in terms of where they can be attacking from. I think that without Phelps, probably takes away one of those spearheads, but at the same time, this is maybe simplifying the approach for GODSENT in a way that makes it hard to read. And I think Movistar are, with the amount of timeouts we're already seeing in this game, they're wondering what kind of GODSENT are we playing today?
Certainly one that's off to a much better start than on Nuke. That's pretty impressive. Classic smoke coming down. Usually there's a follow-up Molotov. You can see it right there landing in front, so create a little bit of a gap. And Dumao, he's actually so quickly in there, but getting caught by Damage G. That is, again, it's a pretty classic opening happening on this map on the T side. Something that we see a lot to try and get one T player really early in there. And it doesn't really work out so far. Let's see. 4 versus 5 deaths. Falling back a little bit towards the donut. Trying to see if he could find an angle with that AK. And they don't even check it. That is a massive risk. And Deaths, he finds the absolute perfect timing. And what a follow-up. 3rd kill of the round for WG. And they get shut down. GODSENT, otherwise, actually, they get onto the A-bomb side. They just have no real estate.
Yeah, that's an excellent cleanup. They are all over it. Great crossfire between the Movistar players on top of that, and that's sort of the godsend. That's kind of the round we saw. We saw when we looked at the demos. The last time they played on Ancient, they sort of ran similar stuff against Team 1. They had a tough time breaking into this sort of site defense, but good response from Movistar. A lot of saved rounds, but finally they're back. They've got some money to work with. They've got some good weaponry too. 3 AKs on the defense. And Henny, he's had a very slow start to this series. This might be a round to get him activated.
Yeah, you would love to see that. Great position with the AWP. Almost had a chance there. Does give away his position a little bit. Death's nearly out of health. Has to try and escape. He's down to 8. Barton, though, he's actually moved so quick.
Wow.
They might not even realize. If he keeps going, oh, daviG, that is a very good read. You could have easily been fooled and assumed that he would have also fallen back in return, but not quite the case. 5 versus 3 at the moment. Looking good for the defense.
Yeah, we still got Lado towards that lane side of things. Movistar, despite the fact that they're in a 5-on-3, they're sort of pressuring that ramp. Nope. Just toying with the idea. And now Dumao and Henny looking for a contact play with Henny's op. Sort of just creeping into middle as Lado runs distraction. This is going to be tough to piece together for these players, but they are making their way into Donut, where there is a sole defender in daviG playing back on the site.
Only 30 seconds, so presumably by the time they show themselves here at the A-bomb site, it's not going to be that much time if they wanted to cancel it and go back to the B-bomb site instead. They're pretty much committed at this point, and they need a really good opening at this point. Oh, nice headshot. He's been coming up big on the defense over here, looking for more. That's the quad kill. And only 14 seconds. Lado, do you really want to give him a chance to ace the team already? It's early on in the second map here. He's already feeling really good about it. There's the kill on Death, and there's the ace for daviG.
Very good stuff. daviG is making that spot look so strong right now. And Movistar, they have taken the lead. 4-3. daviG already on 11 kills.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's feeling quite good about himself. 142 ADR at present. Not too shabby.
In terms of having this style where you're trying to create essentially multiple openings across the map on the T side, I mean, obviously the real trouble is if it starts to work even a little bit, it can be very hard for the T side to make a really good call. Whereas obviously if you rush the B bomb side, it's pretty easy to say they're really rushing the B bomb side, and that's it. Like we don't have to do a lot of guesswork after that. But if there's a little bit of going on at A, and they're also kind of at B, and they're also kind of in middle, it just becomes very tricky to make really clear communication on the CT side, which I think could be very frustrating. But when it doesn't work and you get picked apart, like a little bit here in the middle, Dumao, whatever pressure you were trying to apply, it's gone. Same with Lado. Then you can get rounds like these where it feels a little bit more like, ooh, none of the attempts worked. Well, now what?
Right. It's a style that relies a lot on individual successes and also hoping that one little opening that a singular player finds creates another simultaneously. Yeah. And if that's the case, then it really can be one of the strongest styles. Obviously tough to piece together with less experienced players. Mopaz is approaching their spawn right now, and Movistar are starting to feel empowered in a way that I don't think GODSENT are quick to recognize. This is a Movistar that, despite the fact that they saved multiple rounds in a row, is somehow still just pushing. He's walking through a smoke right now. This guy is this shameless behavior coming out from Mopaz, and he will be punished for his insolence.
That is justice, Maui, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a little too bold, but maybe he's trying to send a message.
Yeah, I have no shame at all.
None.
Look at the scoreline for GODSENT. They have 3 rounds, which is pretty good, right? But Henny's got 0 kills. Dumao's got 0 kills. Barton just had his 2nd kill right there. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it's Taco and Lado. And it doesn't have to be necessarily a bad sign, but they really need to get a couple of more people into the mix here. Otherwise, Movistar could be picking it up just a little bit too soon. 5-3 now.
Yeah, curious if GODSENT are going to just simplify the playbook a little bit. Those full-on site hits, the ramp timing sort of fights seem pretty powerful for them in the early rounds, but now the sort of walking multiple places simultaneously approach that GODSENT are trying to employ, that it's not working in their favor as Movistar seem to have warmed up.
It's not about the idea that if you have multiple points of attack, you know, one attack, even if it doesn't necessarily work, could create an opening somewhere else. And I think on some maps, actually on Nuke, for instance, we just watched, there is a chance that even if you don't get a kill, you could sneak a player behind the enemy line. You can sort of like, they can lose track of a T player and it can work anyway.
Yes.
I think that's very hard to do on Ancient, but the clean, the direct approach, Henny with a big opening there to take down some players. That's what we like to see. Still a little bit of a distance away from getting the bomb planted because Davy is right here looking over the smoke with Olado. He's snuck underneath him. He's, oh, what a magical way to find a kill. How did he do that?
Looked like he went through two smokes that were barely touching each other. But nice flank from Mopaz. This makes things very awkward for Dumao. Even if he was going to win that duel against Mopaz, Alex was hot on his heels. And Movistar able to win yet another round consecutively. This is becoming very tough for GODSENT. That was one of their signature plays, the one where Taco with a sort of top mid smoke and some just distractions in that area go for an A play. And the chaos almost worked out for GODSENT. But this is a great proactive play from Mopaz. That round, just the last one where he went into T-spawn, he's going to keep doing that. This guy's incredibly confident.
Why not? Still 6-3 is... It's not that bad for GODSENT. There's so much that could be done. Lado trying to do what Taco was doing earlier and getting that clean opening on Alex, which they did a couple of rounds. So why not go back to that well, even with the Deagles? They get denied this time, but can't really blame them for it. Probably going to be a 7-3 scoreline here by the time the GODSENT can start to pick up some more rifles again.
Oh, everybody on top of each other for GODSENT. Looks like they're just going for a little bit of a mid-flood. Davy G gets some aim practice, but doesn't quite hit the shot fast enough. Taco takes him down. And this is a strange opening for GODSENT to find. They have Henny in the middle of CT spawn at present, and he's able to take down Alex. Now, Death's... Oh, the flank is right there, but he can't connect. So
they must have known. Henny was jumping.
Yeah.
They must have heard him, but they were kind of acting like they just didn't even realize. They might be recovering the situation anyway. Not that much time, and that's the bomb, unfortunately. With 30 seconds on the clock, very unlikely that you can recover that bomb and get it to a bomb site in time. Death's not the best spray, but it doesn't really matter. He's going to get the kill anyway. He was kind of the silent star of Nuke. Death. He was getting so many kills on the side of Movistar. So off to a good start once again here. Barton on his own. Oh,
his teammate shot him, actually, which disturbed him, I think.
As obviously would.
Yeah. Okay, 5 seconds left, and Barton might die after time. This is going to be really close. Okay, takes him down. The time didn't run out, so he still is able to get that loss bonus, but either way, around that, actually, Movistar took a lot of casualties on. That was way more damage than I think they thought they were going to receive.
Definitely, yeah. Could set up a bit of a comeback for GODSENT if they can keep doing that kind of pressure. So it all counts in the end. 7-3, 11th round. What have we learned so far from GODSENT? I feel like the surprise B ramp pushes have been interesting, but they're hard to replicate infinitely.
Yep. The spread out approaches for them almost catching Movistar, but not quite. It feels like when there's a little bit more chaos on the bomb site, players like Lado can make some magic happen. But for the most part, I would like to see GODSENT go for a little bit more cave control, a little bit more of a concerted effort towards that part of the map, because it doesn't seem like it's been properly tested other than in round number 2, or round number 3, actually.
We'll see if they are going to be able to put that together. Nice smoke landing on top there. Davy G, though, he just doesn't care. Flashing his way through, trusting in the Molotov down in front, and just calls their bluff. Could still get caught, but he's got Mopaz kind of nearby. He's outside of that cave because there's no pressure on that side of the map, so could still be a pretty powerful defense here in the middle. See Mopaz not that far away. Oh, they're going to actually find a catch on him there. That's not bad. He was swinging in for it, probably called in by Davy G, but that's a great opening for GODSENT.
Not bad. Now, how do you convert the 5v4 if you're Taco? If you're in-game leading here, it's not an easy call, but there's a mid re-aggress coming out from Movistar. Henny, no, finds a headshot onto his in-game leader, Taco taken down. And Davy is forced out. No, Henny doesn't find the kill either. Lado takes him down with the molly. 3-on-3 situation. Deaths is up close at A. This is such a tricky spot to deal with. And he takes down Bard. Very nice from Deaths. This just becomes so hard to dislodge him now. And GODSENT, they're just trapped.
Yep. And because he had the count from I guess, from Lado, or Davy G going down. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, he had the count, so he knew he got that one kill. He didn't even check if anyone was there. He's like, no, I'm going to fall back with my back turned. I know exactly where the rest are. Communication.
Absolutely.
Pretty key.
Yes.
They have nowhere to go.
This is just a weird game state for GODSENT. There's not too many excellent options, and Deaths just finds them with a reaggress. This was a good attempt from GODSENT, but I will say that shot from Henny just randomly taking out Taco, evening up the numbers. I don't know what to even make of that. This felt like one of the closest gun rounds GODSENT has had for a while.
Yeah, because the way that they built the opening was really good, and because it's such a CT-sided map, you're not going to get many chances for openings like that. So you kind of give one of them back. It's a bit of an issue. 8-3, 12th round is coming up, and they could put together a buy if they wanted to keep the pressure. They could apply some, but they're in a tight spot once again. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, you could see Taco there. He's making the call while looking right at the screen. Usually you want your in-game leader to look around. You want to make eye contact, but there's some frustrations in the GODSENT camp at present, but not something that they can't fight back from. Here we're going to see that TK from Henny. What does he spot? Okay, there is a jiggle there. It actually looked like Taco went past his crosshair, I'm not going to lie, but that is still in some ways inexcusable.
Yeah, hard to watch, but I'm glad that we got the replay. We appreciate it.
That's a good one. That's a good replay.
Let's see. Setting up again, a pretty broad spread. Oh, Barton, he's outside there. Yeah, Sunpayas again. He's been holding that for a while. Able to pick up the kill. Mopaz, he goes down in return. So still a 4-on-4, but they're once again trying to apply some pretty broad pressure on the map right here. GODSENT, that is. Bomb outside of the B bomb site could wait around for some sort of aggression. Although Movistar are really far back on the map, aren't they?
GODSENT, they want to pressure mid. Sunpayas might just find a freebie right here. Almost a collab at that. Taco taking down a 70 HP. Sunpayas, wow, bold re-peek there, walking right into the angle, and Taco punishes him for it. That's nice. Doomau, he's playing for the punish now. Finds Deaths. That's huge. A bomb site is ripe for the taking, but GODSENT, they don't know that just yet. And so they're holding their ground. Doomau, just the lone prodder at present. And he should be able to relay this to his team that this is free, as a matter of fact. But they're still being diligent about this, GODSENT.
Henny making a fair bit of noise running back, so I guess Davy G, that's kind of his opening. You think, all right, I'm going to be ready to go. Alex hanging around CT spawn, so we'll see. It'll be so painful if GODSENT could not find a way to close this round. They've been gifted a little bit there by Sunpayas, who kind of doubled down on that aggression in the middle otherwise, and maybe even Deaths pushing out, right? They had a couple of gifts there to get into this position. They are walking away a bit closer. It's a slow retake so far. Trying to check every single angle, and there's quite a few of them. The Molotov at the back, and an easy kill for Davy G taking down Taco, and it's going to be another one. Alex following it up. It's all falling apart here. Henny on his own with a Galil at range. He taps it nicely, and Davy G comes out for the peak, and then he runs out of time. I actually thought maybe he would have had a chance to go for it, but instead, it will be a 4th round for GODSENT, a much-needed one.
The stick could have found something, but either way, GODSENT are able to put that one together. Movistar on the retake just takes they take a little too long, but they weighed their options, and it gave them a very solid chance for success. That was as close as it got. If Henny doesn't win that singular duel there from Donut, then Movistar take it. If Alex just won that one more duel, that would have been it. But either way, GODSENT get another on the board, and yeah, the Movistar re-aggresses in the mid-round there, sort of, they don't go unpunished.
And probably a sign of confidence, right? You could see it in Sunpayas, probably most especially. He was like, and I actually know I got that second hit. I'm going to go back for more. Being tested once again. throwing nades at him, but instead of falling back like he's done in the past, he's sticking around, catching a little bit of fire. daviG going to be there up front to try and help him in case they try to rush him down. Ooh, that's a dangerous reload. Lado coming for him, and a great headshot to take down Mopaz. You talked about that cave opening that Phelps usually would have been in charge of, but not a bad job this round, and it makes a huge difference.
This puts so much pressure on Movistar. Have to keep eyes on this position. daviG, he wants some information in return. What? Oh, what a shot by Dumao. That is huge from him. And now GODSENT, that should be another round for them right then and there. That is an incredible duel to win for Dumao. He's had a quiet Ancient, but he was absolutely the star for GODSENT on Nuke. Couldn't come up with the victory on that map, but you can see that he's retaining some of that heat.
That is impressive. That's going to give them a 5th round. Suddenly, a lot is happening here after a pretty confident opening to this map here for Movistar. You've got to say, this could crumble pretty quickly. If they run out of cash, which they almost are on the CT side, they could end up going on a string of losses, which you can't really afford to do on this map, on the CT side at least. They're still out looking.
Oh, they could pinch him. They're getting pretty close.
Oh, might be running for it. Grenades around. That's a good spray. That is all worth it, and right through the wall. It's Dumao to take down Alex. Oh dear. 8-5 now. Starting to become a bit of a problem here. The Spanish team. That's good.
That's huge. That is huge for GODSENT's confidence. They need to get back into this game, and that might be the crowbar to open things up. If they're able to find that sort of cave pressure there, Lado, I love the individual just push. There could be 2 people there. There could be, but it's a calculated risk. It's one where there's almost no duel you can take on Ancient, especially early round where you're favored. So even though you know you're probably disadvantaged there in some way or another, if you see that sort of opening, you take it, and Lado is able to find the 5v4, and on top of that, creates so much pressure, and gotta give credit to Dumao too.
Yeah, what a difference. 14th round now coming up. They have the money, obviously. Movistar, different situation. 3 MP9s. Does that could suggest that there's going to be some more aggression from the CT side. Some attempt to try and put those MP9s up close. Ooh, yeah, Alex rushing down. Yep, all the way outside of B. Flashes around the corner. It's a really good start, but they run out of bullets at the end. And Lado with a double kill in return. It's absolutely brilliant. He thrives in the chaos. Chaos is a Lado. He could go real far with it. daviG on his own in the B bomb site. But, man, that, if not for Lado, that's probably a round lost right at the beginning. He actually brought it back, and now it's a 3-on-3.
This is a really fun game state. 3-on-3, GODSENT, they're just biding their time, waiting for Movistar to probably thin themselves out as they are. They're trying to reclaim some information here, and it's up to Taco to just call when the push is most ripe, when they can finally get onto the site, and it's probably going to be 1 defender at most. In fact, to their luck, it's 0 defenders, although daviG is making his way back. So
and look at Deaths.
That's a potentially round-winning flank from Deaths. The timing on that should be great. Oh, this smoke it's not going to last forever.
Suspiciously empty bomb side of your GODSENT. You're wondering, where are they? Forced in by the Molotov. It's a really good idea, but daviG ready to fight. Henny's on his own. Good shot there, but he's running out of time. 25 seconds, and the flank is dead on for Deaths. So it'll be another round and 9 on the board for Movistar. I'd say it's fine to not have, find a more or less a weakly defended bomb site. When it's completely empty, it does make you think, doesn't it? You're like, wait a minute, how come no one is here? It just doesn't feel quite right, does it?
Right. daviG got way more mileage in this position than he should have. That absolutely should have been a trade every day of the week, and at some point, you're going to be kicking yourself for not finding it. Just took a little too long there, but a nice proactivity from Dutz also to get into that flank position. That was probably just some insurance, even if he doesn't get 2. But Alex taken down. Nice shot from Henny. He's going to press the issue, move on forward. He's at least choking off this position, but it looks like his teammate might have mollied him out. The pocket molly does end up burning. And is this boost going to be hurt? Okay, it doesn't even seem to matter. Through the smoke, Mopaz finds one, still looking for more. But now Movistar, this is generally a favorable retake position.
Yes.
4 on 3, and these Ts, they're pretty much trapped in the long and short side.
Fortunate for them that there's no Molotovs on the CT side, because otherwise some of these positions would be so easy to burn out. But at the very least, they don't have to deal with that. I still agree, though. There's not a lot of real estate for them to really stand on, so they need to win the early fights. And there's a good one. Wallbang from the Martin. Great transfer to take down Damage, and Sunpayer's on his own right now. Suddenly, it's a 1 versus 3, and he's never going to have a chance here. Barton with a brilliant round, 9-6 in favor of Movistar. That is a fantastic way to end the first half. GODSENT is still in it. We can still see a third map, but we'll have to see if they can actually do it in the second half. It's coming right up.
Hey Future Pros! Taking mid as a T can open so many options while playing Ancient. Throwing mid smokes from spawn is quick, but also means you could be locked out if the CT's utility is on point. So these mid smokes I'll show you will be great for a slightly delayed mid take. For this mini execute you'll need 2 Future Pros, 2 smokes, and possibly a molly to be safe. Future Pro number 1. You'll be throwing the top mid smoke. To throw the smoke, position yourself so this wall meets the edge of this highlighted brick while crouched. Aim just below this dark spot on the edge of the shadow. Then jump throw the smoke. Not too hard, right? Future Pro number 2. You'll be throwing the donut, Lara, cube, whatever you want to call it, smoke. To throw this, stand against the wall in the middle of this window frame. Find this gap in the trees and aim just to the left of the center of the opening. Then simply throw the smoke. Just like that, mid-doorway and donut will be blocked. A note for these nades, it helps greatly if you have a fellow T somewhat holding the B lane so you can't be peeked from the ledge area. Also, if you don't have early info on the cutout position, lob a basic molly in there as a sneaky CT could really ruin your day. A 9-6 lead for Movistar in the first half of the second map here on Ancient up against GODSENT right now. Having already won the first map, Movistar, they're probably pretty hungry right now to just close this one out and finish it. But I think 6 rounds on the T side is pretty impressive for GODSENT. I think they're in a good position right now to actually win this map.
You're feeling pretty good about 6 rounds, especially with how things started for them. Not winning the pistol round. We'll see if GODSENT are able to find a pistol here. It would definitely bolster their chances of success in taking us to a third map. Movistar Riders going for a heavy lane approach. Taco wants to see what he can find. Does spot 2 out. Backs on up, though. Both teams actually back on off.
Yeah, he realized they're not running anymore. Could hear the footsteps fading away. Mopaz getting a bit close with the Glock, flashed into the bomb site, checking the corner. Taco's there. Oh, if he wins this fight, it would be a big one, but he's running out of bullets. What is going on? He's finally going to hit the headshot, but that took so long. That's some impressive dancing coming out of Taco. Working those hips right there. Yes, trying to follow it up, and he's going to find the headshot on Dumao. This is an all-out chaotic round so far. Henny, he's going to find a headshot on Damage. Do you need enough bullets left? Yeah, they're going to pick them apart now. It's down to Payas 1 versus 2, and he gets taken down. Lado, strong start here, and GODSENT, they needed it.
There was a lot of ammunition spent in this round. That was that all took so long. I'll say this: the thing about that fight between Taco and Mopaz to kick things off, that took so long that GODSENT recognized that there's only one person that's actually here on this B-bomb site. So the rotation was quick, and if you don't sell that fake hard, it is very okay, those bullets are just passing right through him. Taco's in the Matrix, and he's dodging everything.
Can we add a dub of Hips Don't Lie on top? Might be a...
I actually edited a music video to that. It was for an editing community college course.
Were you featured in it as well?
No, we used some, I don't know. Like,
I was hoping so bad there was footage out there.
Some actress from the college just was dancing.
All right.
And we just had to put some editing techniques.
So we have the skills available, is what you're saying. We can do it ourselves.
Yes, yeah.
Fair enough. Grouped up outside of the A-bomb site is Movistar, and they have a lot of firepower actually. Galil's all over the place. They're up against mostly FAMAS and a scout. But this could definitely work. Boost up onto that tree. We'll see if they're going to be able to find that quick enough. It's a decent defense here. Nice lineup. Dumao able to pick up a couple there. Barton very low. He's already tagged up. I'm impressed he's sticking around, and maybe a little bit too much. 3 on 3, and it should be a bomb plant, and potentially could be a tricky retake here for GODSENT.
It won't be an easy one. Oh, that nade does make things easier. Now the number advantage lies with GODSENT. They'll wait for the smoke, play things out textbook. No need to rush. Although they don't have a kit, so they may need to speed up the tempo. Sunpai is looking for the timing, but Henny takes him down. They do have a couple smokes, and Alex, he only has the Tech 9, but that might just be enough. He gets another kill onto Taco, now has to look for the spam. Lato, there's no kit. Reminder, this is gonna be a long 10-second defuse, and Alex just can't find the shot. That is gonna be it. GODSENT will steal the round away, and Alex, he's gonna have to look at that one back. He wants to see that X-ray.
It's so upsetting. Oh, man. Yeah, 10-second defuses are pretty rare. Tech9 has plenty of bullets, but he just couldn't guess the angle.
Just was really committed to that right side for some reason. Maybe there was a call. Maybe there was maybe they thought he tagged him at one point.
Yeah, just didn't have quite the mental image inside of his brain about where he could have been. Even with the knife, he's
still committed to the right. Man. GODSENT, with the skin of their teeth, stay alive. But Movistar, they don't want to give up the economy battle just yet. Alex, oh, is he going to suspect this? This is such a cheeky play from Taco. Sitting right in this smoke. Catches Alex off guard. Outbrained.
Huge play. That little window, that 10-second defuse, that could easily be the door left open for GODSENT to win this map. That's how CT-sided this can get. So... Yes. If it all hinges on that at the end, if we go back and we do the analysis and we say, man, if he'd hit that Tech 9 shot, maybe they finish this in a 2-0 fashion, but instead could easily go the other way. That would be really heartbreaking. I like Movistar keeping up the pressure, obviously, to get the bomb plant. They keep trying to see if they could attack GODSENT here. Why wouldn't they? Although this is a pretty good B lean right now, which I feel like is more common, although we didn't see it so much for Movistar on the first. They had Alex alone in B. I feel like a lot of teams will do this, where they almost have 3 people leaning towards the B bomb side most of the time.
Right, but we just see 2 from GODSENT in Lado and Henny. They don't even have much utility to work with either. We do get the rotation back from Taco. The hit seems to be coming out. Lado wants to face it head on, only takes down 1. Now Taco, he's behind the main pillar, And Death's nice headshot to open things up, evens up the situation up.
More rotations are coming because they know everyone is here. That's kind of the power of going for that flash in towards the B ramp. You know that they're out there. And Henny and Barton coming up with a couple of kills. Mopaz on his own, trying to see if he can find it, but he is simply out of time. 8 seconds right now on the clock, and he's going to be found. Nice shot from Barton, and good on Godsend, I would say. Even if they probably would have wanted more out of that B ramp flashbang than the 1 kill, it's like, yeah, but you get that at 30 seconds, and there's a second player there. You're pretty confident they're coming B at that point.
There's info gained by that.
Yep.
You know where the hit's likely going to be coming. And yeah, even though Taco falls, they still have good positioning. And that's the thing about Ancient, though. A lot of the times you can do a proactive play, and your fallback plan is just have a guy at this kind of long V2 angle, and it just works out. It's so powerful, and a little bit unfortunate for Movistar that there was a gap in it, and Henny was able to abuse that. Single smoke from Mopaz. Good amount of utility from Deaths. Going to be seeing those roof flashes come out. Barton, he's trying to find a position right now in the middle of an execute. This might not work out for him. Oh, man, he is really wishing he got into that site earlier.
We've all been there. You're just having a great day in that A-bomb site, and suddenly it's not the sun shining on you, it's a flashbang instead, and it just all goes horribly wrong. Davy down and out. Still a 4-on-4, and this time they do at least have defuse kits, so they can be a little bit more careful here, Godsend, in trying to get the retake in. Alex, that's a great flick to take down Taco. Impressive switch aim coming on there, but Dumao able to get it back in. A double kill for him, and they're going to be able to clear out the bomb site, so a little bit of panic maybe initially, but a good recovery. The pressure, I mean, they keep it on Movistar. Every round they seem to be doing some kind of damage. They keep getting the bomb down. So they have so much money to work with, and Godsend's economy is all the time under a lot of pressure here.
Yeah, that's always going to be nice. Okay, jumping Glock burst. I like the options that Sun Pius just flexed with the Glock right there. Double Glock burst into the single semi-automatic shots. That's pretty stylish. That's pretty cool. Along with the bunny hopping out there, probably one of the little highlights of the round. And hopefully it's not the last highlight for Movistar. You're going to be fighting back with full utility, full weaponry, and some early lane presence. Godsent, they've got Lado in the cave, so he'll be taking up the Phelps duties. And that's nice to see. It seems like that's consistent with how he was playing that T side.
Lado, it's very aggressive. Always feels very dangerous when people start doing that. You're shooting back basically at one angle, and the amount of angles that can be fired back at you, it's like 7 different angles that they can just start shooting from. But in the end, nothing really much happens.
I'm surprised Mopaz doesn't fire back. I feel like on Nuke, they were shooting through every smoke and wall they could.
Yeah.
But no, they just want to go for the calculated cave control. That might be the safer option. And okay, Godsent, they've got 2 players now there. Mopaz, he's going for the jiggle peek in, looking for that fight. Dances with Taco, and he wins that one. Lado's up close, takes down Mopaz, but he can't find the second. Davy G gets the trade. Now Henny, he's pressured back into long. He's gonna flash Dumao in. This is, oh, it misses. The flash misses the mark, but Dumao still wins the fight. Still is able to stay alive. Oh, a smoke at the feet. Gonna isolate the Movistar players. No way, Dumao is finding so much here. And Henny's still behind this smoke.
Dumao essentially baited into a really bad fight by a failed flashbang, and he still gets a double kill. Good leg shot there. Alex already low. They get another bomb plant here. And it's impressive right now for Movistar. They're getting so many rounds back-to-back where they get bomb plants. They're in this pretty close 3v3s, 2v2s. It's a great look, but if they can't win the rounds, eventually Godsent will just build more and more rounds, and it's eventually going to just run out of space here. Henny with a good kill on Alex, and now it's Death on his own. And he's going to get taken down. Henny started to wake up. That was his 13th kill. It's another really close round, but it's Godsent that pick it up. 11-9.
Very nice retake from Henny there.
Yeah.
But gotta give a lot of props to Dumao. The way he was able to battle on that bomb site and find 2 kills. There was a fake utility support flash coming out, but then that smoke that actually landed at the top of ramp, that delivered him another frag. So gotta give some credit. But this is really nice from Henny. The pushing in with the op, these are pretty quick shots. That's very nice to see. And yeah, he had a very quiet nuke. Even the way that this game started too, he was sitting on 0 kills for a handful of rounds. So it's great to see him come alive here, because we know that this is what GODSENT was looking for. Kassad said it, I'm saying it, a lot of people were saying it, that they need a primary opper. They can't keep playing this juggling op game. And if Henny's the one you get, with how well he played for Fury, if you can get back to that, man, GODSENT, their ceiling definitely raises.
Yeah, it's really, really hard to argue against. And I think you made this point really well earlier, and if people missed it, I mean, this idea of having the AWP otherwise switched out between a bunch of different players is probably not optimal in the long run. So yeah, that takes some pressure off of everyone else on top of it. In the middle, they're quick to put out the Molotov there. The CT side trying to see if they can fight it around it a little bit. Alex not really guessing anyone for the smoke, but again, the pressure just is round after round here for Movistar. They just need a little bit of an opening. Look at the money on GODSENT for having won how many, like 3 or 4 rounds in a row here. They probably should have way more cash, but they don't at the moment.
There has been
5 in a row.
A lot of economic pressure on them, but Movistar aren't able to find anything early on, and they burned a lot of the utility that they have in order to practically achieve nothing. Yeah, they just have to back up to a bomb site. All right, little clear towards cave. And that is one of their last flashes to try to sell a fake towards ramp. This is becoming really dire for Movistar, because Barton is on this A site, primed and ready, alongside Taco.
Yeah, this is going to be very tough, but what an opening. Again, they had 1 flash, 1 smoke, but they get that opening headshot. Damage picking it up. Barton caught out. Even though he got that 1 kill, he really cannot escape back into the tunnels behind him. Henny, very important kill, and Mopass will fall him into the ground as well. It's Dumao to pick up that one. So suddenly, it kind of works out for GODSENT anyway, but I've got to be honest, the opening here is really scary. They got away with a lot from having almost no nades at all, and they could still win the round. Movistar now bomb down once again, and another 2 versus X situation that should have maybe found that kill. It looked like Death had enough time to pull the trigger, but Dumao able to pick him up instead. Alex on his own, needs the lineup, needs a really quick double right here, and it's not going to happen. Henny will take him down, and it's going to be 12 on the side of GODSENT.
That's just one of the problems with that post-planet A. If you don't have numbers, there's only so many spots you can be, and none of them are honestly that powerful. That's one of the few that they were able to use. Important shot from Henny to take down Sun Pius, and it was a worrying sign to see how sort of simple it looked for Movistar to get into the site. They won a duel against Taco, 1-0, and then Barton was only able to go 1-1 on the site itself, and yet there was no conversion. But that's sort of what happens when you just kind of dry contact onto a bomb site. You don't have the utility to keep up a strong post plan, and they didn't take any sort of forward positioning. They played back, and again, Ancient, it's not kind to people in post plans.
It's crazy. They've won 6 in a row, GODSENT. 5 of them have been defusers. At most, they've had 3 people alive in 2 out of those 6 rounds. So they're really struggling. I mean, in some ways they are struggling, but at the same time, mentally for Movistar, it's got to be frustrating too, right?
Feels so close so many times.
Yeah, almost making it. I like this. Couple of Molotovs to push them back while they do the boost that would normally happen on the CT side. Very aggressive, hard to read if you're on the CT side. You could see Barton not quite ready for it, and he's going to go down. Big opening, and it creates another opening on the other side of the map. Dumao spotting it out. Free kill for him. That is really unfortunate, and they lost a player on the A side at the same time. Death sneaking in. That's 1 good kill, but the follow-up is there. Lado able to get that one done. It's another 2 versus 3. Once again, we're back.
Familiar territory. Sun Pius presses on forward, wins the duel against Lado. Now it's a 2-on-2. Things get interesting here because this retake becomes very difficult unless Henny wins this upcoming duel. Misses the shot, but he doesn't miss the second. Sun Pius can't take him down. Now Alex, he doesn't have a lot to work with, but they didn't smoke off his angle just yet. Taco has another smoke. He's gonna put that one down. Henny taps the bomb. Oh, almost found the timing there, Alex. But wait a second.
He almost
is very close.
Yeah, the bomb was inside of the smoke.
Oh, okay, all right. All right.
That is scary. He could have lost the bomb in the smoke right then and there.
Yes. Just a few ticks, and that's all it would have taken. Once again, though, Movistar, that is their 6th host plant, and they're unable to come up with the goods.
Yep. And we should mention again, think about that one Tech9 10-second defuse, like how much has been built behind it. Oh, this is painful.
The slimmest of margins, but GODSENT, they continue to come out on top.
Yes, they do. Their money isn't really improving, but I mean, they have what they need for the rounds, so I guess it keeps working. Round after round. We'll see. Movistar have essentially all of the right ideas. I mean, if you were to tell me that we're going to watch a game where Movistar could get into essentially, 6 2v2s or something in a row on the T side, say, yeah, that's what a great opening. If we could start the rounds like that, like we're going to take that every single time. But you win none of them somehow.
Yeah, that probably means the game plan's working out pretty well for Movistar. It's just execution in those late round moments, not quite there for them. But credit to GODSENT for having some good retakes and some excellent composure in these high pressure moments. This is I think sort of what Yanko was alluding to, just the player quality. It is quite high for GODSENT, at least in respect to this matchup. There are some dudes here with great experience. Taco and Henny, of course, but nice flash, good timing, sets up Lado. And that's key. That's key. Just down the stretch moments.
Yeah, it's proven to be worth a lot. And you could see now that Henny is back in play. He's got 17 kills. Huge difference from what was happening on Nuke. He's having such a huge impact on this game now. Instead, Dumao boosted up and a good swing. So a nice 1-2 punch coming out there. Barton spotting the bomb surely and calling it in. So the more time passes, only 10 seconds left as well. Even if they get a kill on him there, it's probably a little bit too late to try and do a lot here. And they're going to run out of time simply backing out. So it's going to be 14 on the side of GODSENT. And one of the more convincing rounds for GODSENT where there's no bomb plant here. A chance to breathe a little bit.
Yes. This is a weird state of affairs for the money of Movistar, as they have 2 players that save. They have 3 guys that don't really want to fully invest. And now they have to consider their options in terms of what the buy should be. They do decide to just buy up, even out the money. But we'll see if that comes back to bite them. Or maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Who knows? Sometimes that Deagle, that entry speed is all you need in order to shake things up just enough to upset the balance.
He's been playing well, Death, so maybe...
They might not suspect Alex right now. He's gotten into very advanced position at mid, and it feels like GODSENT are just peeling off from it entirely.
If they get the opening and anyone wants to rotate through middle, that might be very hard to read. Barton, nice smoke, or nice Molotov on top of him. He has to fall back from that position. Taco trying to defend it, but he can't really escape. Barton, though, still alive, and Alex, that was the deep play that they needed. They had to make that work. It is a cool idea, I think, but he overplayed his hand maybe slightly. Now it's all down to the Deagle headshots. He needs another 3 of them, basically, in a minute. He can play around with it. He's picked up a Galil in the meantime. But this is about to be 15 rounds for GODSENT. They've locked down this second half, and it's not like Movistar haven't had a lot of chances and opportunities to change the course of history here, but they just can't.
It's been flawless from GODSENT so far.
Crazy.
Some very close rounds, but they haven't dropped a single one on their defense. Very well done by GODSENT. And yeah, that Alex push, it felt like that could have been the key to success, but just didn't quite find the timing. And maybe swinging into the angle, there's a debate there to be had, whether maybe just hold to contain the rotations or actually try to cut them off actively.
Yeah, it's very hard to say, isn't it? Here we go. 25th round. And GODSENT 1 round away from putting it onto a 3rd map, which would be on Mirage. I'm really excited. I hope we get to see that. It looks like we will. A bit of an attempt. Dumao probably feeling super confident right now. Mopaz is going to end up finding him. So 4 on 5. But they're pretty close to rotating. If they stick around like this, they could go through middle. They found Mopaz, so it's back into a 4 on 4. There's actually so little map control right now for Movistar, in spite of getting the opening kill.
They're completely contained, and Taco, nice shot onto Alex. All 3 Movistar players are in lane. They're stuck right now. There's smokes all around them, and unless they're given a gift in terms of a frag, this is going to be so hard to battle out of. Okay, that might be something. Taco falls. not a lot to work with for Movistar in terms of their positioning, but 3-on-3, this is probably one of their better opportunities.
Bart's in a very forward position. Yeah, he's going to be able to hear them. A little bit of a peek there. Not even expecting it. Nice kill there. They have to slow down and follow it up, and it gives time towards CT spawn. Lano is already there. Henny kind of getting a little bit closer. It's another 2-on-2. And they haven't been able to win one of these at all in the second half. Every single time it's been Godsent picking it up. What a punishing map this has been all of a sudden. It's all been there. They've pretty much had all the pieces to put the puzzle together, but it's not been enough just yet. Sunpayas with a nice shot there and a spray down, and finally they were able to pick up a round in the second half. They had to eventually win one of those 2v2s, and they left it very, very late in the hour to actually do it.
8 HP and 1 bullet away from a flawless Godsent half to send us to Mirage, but nope, Sunpayas keeps on fighting. And this felt like, in terms of positional advantage, one of the best rounds for Godsent. It's just a couple individual liberties being taken there early on from Dumao pushing through the smoke, Taco taking that fight down the lane, and it gives Movistar a little bit of a lifeline, but it's still such an uphill battle, and one that Godsent, with all the previous data we've seen, they should be good for this.
And they lose one round and they're saving.
That's true. Yeah, that's another point.
Movistar must be thinking, man, if we could have had this round 5 or 6 rounds ago, it would have been such a different game. Oh, man. 2-on-5. They're at least going to get to 11 here. Madness happening in front of your very eyes. Inside of the smoke, like a maniac, flailing the knife around. Somebody getting this man under control.
There's got to be a horror film with a guy with a knife in a cave, such as that.
Yeah.
It just, but I think the killer in that would have been a little bit more accurate with his swings.
Just a crazy person in a cave. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
We can, if not, we can write the script.
I think most cave movies that are horror films usually either have a monster or they're just, it's like man versus self.
Yeah, there are some pretty horrific ones that I've seen that involve. But I also have. There's just a common human fear of being stuck in a cave.
Yeah,
you don't. No one wants that. Ooh, look at this. Alex challenging the fire and flames, running up the ramp, and he's gonna run right in. He could deal with the fire, but not that AWP of Henny. Mopaz though, able to take down Henny in return, trying to get the bomb plant down. But what a push from Taco. That might just be the map-winning move right there.
That's huge. That is a bold play coming out from Taco. Works out fantastically, and now the bomb is really. It feels like you cannot retrieve this. They have a single flash to try to break this whole thing open, and B bomb site Ancient is notorious for how ridiculously powerful the crossfires can get. Taco staying incredibly cheeky, just sitting in the smoke, and he wants to finish things himself. Can't blame him.
I actually love that from Taco. That's some of the individual quality that the desk were talking about going into this map. It's like, yeah, I know that you're not going to expect me to still be here, and they definitely didn't. Death's on his own, 1 versus 4. This is a really, really cool way to end it for Godsent on this map, and obviously bring us onto a third one as well. There's not much Deaths can really do. He doesn't have the bomb, doesn't have any teammates or anything else. He needs Godsent to make 3 or 4 mistakes in a row, basically. It's
catastrophic errors need to be seen here. I can't. Yeah, Godsent have this. Godsent absolutely have this. We will be heading to Mirage as soon as Deaths decides to let this smoke fade. Nope, gonna throw his pistol right through it. Barton finishes things off, and Godsent are able to move us to a third.
Yeah, very confident stuff there. That is so cool, and it shows you, they got 6 rounds in the first half, and that proved to be enough. They were able to hold on. They made it through the scary Tech9 10-second defuse round, and they never looked back.
Yep, and I could tell Heku had the death stare right at Taco. She wants an interview with him. I'm sure that's coming up in just a moment. We're going to get to hear some insight from the Brazilian side.
Yeah, Maui, I just needed to make sure that Taco is not running away, because they need to get ready for the third map. I just want to hear from you, because right now when it comes to Ancient, I don't have too many questions. When it comes to Nuke, your opponents got 9 rounds on the T side and you didn't succeed a single T round. Why?
Nuke is a map that we are still working on, especially now that we have a sniper. We had a slow start, especially because it was our first time playing together with this exactly lineup and with an Alper and etc. So we kind of got a little bit nervous, I would say. So it took a while until we really joined the server. And T-side, after the pistol round, I think the team spirit went a little bit down and we were kind of scared to play, which happens. And I'm just happy that we could come back on Ancient and we had a strong start and we kept our mentality and spirit really high and really good. So let's keep like that for the third map.
Looking forward to see that. During week 1, I talked to Alex, and when I asked, like, hey, are you going to win the third map? He said, like, if we're winning the knives, then we are winning the map. Do you feel the same way, or like you know that you're taking Mirage?
Well, let's win the knife then.
That was win the knife. Thank you very much, Taco.
Thank you.
Too many times I've seen plenty bail, and there will be no surprise what I'm about to do when you are looking through my eyes. See many go, see many come. See that they won't bring it to me, son. Try me if you want, but won't be any fun. I'll take the challenge. I'll beat anyone. I'm the one. I'll be quite clear. Bow down to no one. I'm right here. I get it in. I don't fight fair. And guess what? I'm your worst nightmare. I'm your worst nightmare. Are you prepared? I'm your worst nightmare. I know you scared. I'm your worst nightmare. Are you prepared? I'm your worst nightmare. I know you're scared.
Oh boy. Now we have a series. That's right, a third map right in front of us, staring us down the barrel. Of course, this barrel, well, might not get both of them. We're going to find out if the third one's going to make a lot of sense here. Start to tap into it. I've got a little Yanko and a little bit of Kassad here as well before we jump into that extra map. I say extra map, third map, and GODSENT versus Movistar Riders. And welcome you back to the ESL Pro League's 15th season. Now, where do we want to begin?
Much different T-side from GODSENT this time. You know, they went for that pack mentality kind of Counter-Strike, and it got them 6 rounds. But what was most ridiculous for me is that second half force buying from Movistar Riders. I don't think that's the way to go, to be honest, because if you play map like this on the T side, you want to do your protocols. You want to, you know, take your mid control, banana control, everything. When you force like this, you end up in a position where you cannot do all of those things that you practiced for the past God knows how long, and you end up in this kind of brawls and like post-plan defuse and everything like that. It's just not good for you, and it cost them at the end, and it was completely unnecessary.
Seems so worked up.
Yeah, I mean,
you okay?
I think I lost a couple of games.
I think he's waking up around now. You know, he had his afternoon nap, right? Like now he's full energy.
That is warm milk.
You know what Kassad said, like that stinks of desperation a little bit, right? Like you feel pressure that, because obviously the money was low for GODSENT the whole time, right? You feel pressure that if you just win that one round, you can get the reset, right? And you know, it makes sense on that side of things, but also you have to have faith, right, in your T side, and that eventually, you know, you concede the fact that you weren't able to break them, right? Like you already forced once or twice. You know, you don't really want what happened to actually happen. For the whole half to go by, you chasing that one reset and never just getting it.
As Kenny Rogers would say, you know.
Okay, well, here we go.
Know when to fold them, right?
When to fall and chase.
And sometimes you need to know when to walk away. For Lado, he's not one of those people because he shows up here in a rather larger way than I think that we've seen, though, in the series itself.
But unexpected. We always look at like Dumao as a player to go in GODSENT, but Lado stepped up here with many impactful kills throughout the whole map. And
it's a 16-11 win for GODSENT, but statistically the Movistar players performed better, right? So it wasn't really convincing when you look at that, but when you look at the score, it's such a weird game. I haven't seen a game like this in a long time.
You look at that second half, you think a little bit more conviction, okay? You know, we're going to look here at our Air Force Aim High head-to-head with Leto and David G, but point being, you look at the second half of play here with GODSENT and you think, yeah, that's a convincing CT side, or rather lackluster T side. How would you point it?
Lackluster T side, definitely. I mean, they're good in these chaos situations, especially Henny. You know, he used to play in Furia. He knows how to deal with this like high pressure,
all over the place,
smokes all over the place, how to deal with that, right? And then he got activated a little bit on CT side, and I think in those kind of economical pressure kind of rounds, the team that gets the AWP first, especially on CT side, is going to come out on top, and that was like the difference maker a little bit there.
Yeah, and looking forward towards Mirage, right? Like it still seems after these two maps, I think it's pretty obvious that, you know, the cohesion is better for the Movistar squad, right? Obviously, the whole Henny situation just coming in and being a primary operator, we heard it from Taco as well. But if there ever was a map that was easy to overcome those obstacles, it is Mirage, right? Like, and it's also Henny's playground.
So humor me this, because we just heard a little bit of argy-bargy about the knife round, right? And it's not something that we normally talk about, but is there something to be had right there?
I don't think it plays that big of a role right now, because the confidence and the energy and the hype is right now on the GODSENT side, you know. Even though Movistar Riders looked better overall in the both maps, I feel like the confidence is GODSENT side, and I believe like they don't really care that much about the CT or T side. Obviously, they're gonna pick the CT side if they win the knife, but I don't think it plays such a big role on map, especially like Mirage.
Yeah, GODSENT also, they lost both pistols on their T side on both maps, so, you know, if they can win this one on Mirage, it really helped them. Like they won the 3 rounds in a row in that first half on the Ancient, right? If you added a pistol towards that, it would have been up 6-7-0 instead of the score just being 3-2.
Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a weird one for us to try to wrap our heads around. Perhaps you can, and you can let us know by using hashtag ESL Pro League. That's over there on the Twitter sphere. I guess take your pick wherever you want to do it, because social media is the Wild West as far as I'm concerned. And I'm also concerned that we go to Mirage, and I have a hard time putting my finger on who wins the series now, Kassad.
For me, it was like first two maps clearly, you know, 80-20 in favor of Movistar Riders because they look more composed overall. But I think it's shifted now because of the confidence, more like 60-40 still Movistar Riders, because overall, I think they had like more time to practice and prepare, but, you know, never know with a map like Mirage.
They're looking like the better team, that's for sure. But I don't know. There's just something that's like pulling me towards GODSENT, right?
It's Taco.
You know,
let's just say it. It's Taco.
No, it's like things will kind of click on this. You know, it's Mirage, man. It's you know, you don't need like crazy amounts of team. Like you can come up with things on the fly and prepare the map fairly easily for a match, right? And you have guys like Henny, very explosive. Dumao, you said he was like pretty quiet. So far, you expected more from him. This is where he steps up.
You can turn it into a reactionary map if you want, and that's what they like, especially from the Brazilian side.
Yeah, well, our reactions to that are finished. We're going to have to go to a break so we come back with Mirage, a third one and a final one for this second series of the day, everybody. So don't go too far. You can stray away just a little ways, but, you know, don't get lost on your way back from that kitchen, getting your lickies and chewies. We'll see you in just a second.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Choose nades, choose a smoke, choose a flashbang. Choose team badges to support your favourite CSGO team. Choose an ESEA Premium membership. Choose routes you know bring in wins. Choose pro video tips. Choose the fan club wars. Choose behind the scenes content. Choose good grades. Choose guns you know you can shoot right. Choose bingo. Choose the equipment you know is going to get your team the win thanks to heat maps. Choose the CSGO Hub Premium, the complete package to help you and your squad achieve all your CSGO goals.
Oh shit, I'm the guy now. Okay, it's over for y'all.
I'm screwed, man. I'm gonna have to ask who's running through that. Never mind. That's just...
I'm in pursuit of a fence. Right.
Fuck you. I knew that wouldn't work on you of all people, Harry. Of all people.
Get the fuck out, Hugo. Trying to do that. BitConnect!
I think Alex is the master of prop hunt. That's all I'm learning from this round.
You see how misleading it is? Like, you hear the taunt, but you have no idea.
Oh. Tracy, sure about that one, buddy? It's a bit long, I think.
Oh, this is interesting by Harry.
Dude, I'm fucking...
Oh, I didn't even realize!
Yeah!
He didn't even know!
All right.
I'm quiet because this is boring. Hopefully we get into a round that excites me.
Oh!
30 seconds now!
Dude, I know you're close, like...
Yes! Hey, I should have stayed!
Yeah, he went right by you, mate.
Fuck! You looked right at him. We've got a new strategy for this one.
I'm quiet because this is boring.
Hello.
Fuck. Harry, now that is mega braining it.
Right?
Yeah.
It's us.
I like the attempt, Trace. Oh, no.
Oh, shit.
Trace? He doesn't know.
Oh, shit.
Trace, you've done it. You've actually done it. You slipped the net. Trace, you're about to get got.
Oh, God.
No, don't move now.
No!
It was a nice try. It was a nice try.
Me and you up against the big man. 90 seconds.
We got this. He's fine.
I want you to keep a cool head on your shoulders, okay?
Oh, dude, my head's cool.
Where the fuck? I'm gonna call this round a lock. Good job, guys.
Yeah, Harry definitely.
It's just not gonna happen. I hate to say it.
Sound is a bit misleading, I think.
He's shooting the same texture over and over again.
Well, it like echoes too, right? You know,
Yeah.
that doesn't help. It sounds like it's right here. Well,
Very well done, Harry.
Jumping around in Palace right now, so.
Yeah, Chattingham Palace once, dude.
That was easy.
Damn it.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is the third map. We got treated to Maui. I was worried for a second we were going to get fooled out of seeing Mirage, but here we are. It's Movistar versus GODSENT at ESL Pro League.
A treat at that.
Yeah.
A treat at that. This game is it's been interesting. It's been interesting. It's almost like two pretty one-sided maps, but Mirage as an equalizer. It's one that Yenko, Kasad kind of talked about how you can just put things together. We heard in the interview with Heku that Taco talked about how they haven't really gone over all of the maps just yet, that they're still working on a couple of things, maybe a couple of sides. They have to come up with some more plays. Mirage is a map that every single player in the server knows. I'm not sure if they all love it, but they definitely know it.
Yeah, everyone has, a lot of people have a strained relationship, I feel like, with Mirage. I like it. I think it's fun. But yeah, you're right. No one's going to be able to use that excuse. So I'm excited to see how this is going to be playing out. I reckon a lot of people were on the GODSENT side to begin with, and it was looking shaky for a while. But I don't know, like they start to really look warmed up. If Henny can keep that level, almost anything can happen, right?
Yes, it took him a while to get into this one, but Henny has shown up into the series. That second half of Ancient looked promising for him, but winning out the knife round was Movistar Riders. They're going to be starting out on the CT side, an early B stack coming out from Movistar. This might be the call, given the early positions of GODSENT.
Just a bit of a delay, but coming down through the underpass. Yep, Alex, he kind of recognized there is a chance that maybe someone could try and go a little bit quick there, but it's just Taco clearing it out. So they get some mid-control on the side of GODSENT. Alex back to take a peek in, but yeah, they're gonna know now. Smoke, I don't know if they're really gonna stop them in a pistol round. Usually Smokes, yeah, they're gonna try and either get bust through, and it makes a lot of sense. Dumal will take down Davy, and it's a big opening. First kill on Mirage goes to GODSENT, but
they peel back.
Return. Yeah, they do, and Death is the only one here at CT spawn. He's gonna have a hard time holding it on his own, maybe get a kill, and that would be really nice for the retake, but he can't actually stop the bomb plant.
The positions of GODSENT are so powerful at present. There is a fight going on towards middle. Lado versus Mopaz. That's the kit down, actually, a catwalk. This becomes exponentially harder now, especially with Taco's position. Back default, takes down Deaths, clotheslines him, and he swings for more. Taco leading by example to put the first round on the board for GODSENT.
Those are some very, very crisp kills. What a name.
You just gotta love when Taco's feeling himself. You see that smile, you see that nod?
Yeah.
He's liking it.
Really good stuff. And that kit dropping on the other side, I mean, it puts so much pressure, right? All of a sudden, they really have to move pretty quickly if they want a shot. But this is incredible work. They get fired up now. GODSENT with the opening round. And Movistar actually answering back with Deagle, C-set 75, a scout, and a 5-7. So could still be a pretty impactful round here for the Spanish side if they're able to do some damage early on. Normally that's how it works with these kind of buys. You need to do the damage pretty much right off the bat. And oh man, there's a lot of pressure being applied already.
That's a solid molly. We're going to see a standard A-exec off the back of that. There still is that player underneath balcony in Deaths. In fact, there's quite a few Movistar players across this A site, but they're being cleaned up. Henny takes down the first. Now they're trying to scale on forward. There's a bit of a gap in this smoke towards the back end, but will an opportunity present itself is the question. Alex, he's creating an opportunity. He pushes on, but he's quickly stopped by Dumao. Davy G takes down one, but now this becomes an impossible retake. Mopaz might find a flank timing here. In fact, takes down Lado. With no kit, the time ticks down very quickly.
It's looking incredibly unlikely, but they were so close. Though. You're right, they had a lot of people here to begin with. They could have made a lot more out of this. Not going to happen now. Henny will take down Davy G, and Mopaz, yeah, that AK is suddenly way more worth it to save, and he's going to try and see if he can do that. Although Henny is pretty close behind him. Some jumping going on there. Mopaz not able to run further away than this, and Henny, yeah, doesn't want to risk it either. He's going to stick around, but that could have been a much more scary round for GODSENT if they weren't able to trade some of those early kills right away. I agree. It looked like Alex was in a really good position coming out of that smoke when it was fading. It looked like he could have done a lot there.
Yeah, this is a really simple anti-eco sort of call for GODSENT. I think a lot of teams, when they have a shortened playbook, one that hasn't been fully developed, they're going to go for something like that. And you can see why. It just cuts off the angles. It's pretty much the exec that every single player in CSGO knows. Just A exec, and If GODSENT is going to keep things simple, the question becomes later in the half, how many layers do they have to their strategies, and is the simple approach going to be enough?
Just one AK on the map for the CT side. Taco found it, but probably not in the way that he wanted to. A shot from Damage. GODSENT was actually flashed, I think, and could have gone down right then and there. It could have been a bit of a nightmare if he would have got a second kill. Still a 4-on-3. AK hanging around too. Ooh, nice returns coming out right now. It is a 2-on-2. That's some long range for the MAC-10. GODSENT doing all the work in this round to try and get them back. Again, a close affair there for GODSENT. But they're able to make it through. Probably not with a lot of confidence, but on the other side, man, they win 3 rounds in a row. I mean, you could also just say, okay, it's a little bit labored, but they get the job done.
This became a little bit scary, especially when Taco died at Catwalk, but other than that, it's nice to see that the individuals of GODSENT are able to pick up the pieces and make a situation that's getting a little bit hectic more under control than, say, a less experienced player would show. Okay. Early mid-take coming out for GODSENT. GODSENT are playing with some quick pace so far. See if that changes throughout the half, but it's getting Taco once again. Some deep position towards Catwalk, and Damage, did he spot that?
I don't think he did, but it must have been close. You walk back out. He's in such an incredible position to punish Damage, though. I mean, if he'd stuck around, the timing could have been there for it. Taco going down, though. Bit of an unfortunate scenario. That was down towards Connector, bottom of Connector and middle. Damage, he's going to get dinked a little bit, maybe through the wall there. Down to 29 health. Backup is being called in for Alex has started to show up. If they could defend this, that kill is so important, yeah. Mopaz, he's so comfortable sticking around when his teammates inside of the B-bomb side win their fights. He's like, I don't even have to move. So this is a bit of a lockdown, and it's got to be a great feeling on the side of Movistar, given the fact that they got pretty close in some of these last rounds and lost them anyway, which is the whole story of the second half on Ancient. So they're probably really excited to just start to win some rounds here.
Yeah, this looks to be a clean finish. They might even keep all 5 alive unless Henny has something to say about it. Almost with the quick scope, but not quite. And there we go, flawless round from Movistar. First gun round. They pick up where they left off, and that's got to feel pretty good. You can't let GODSENT run what was essentially the same strategy 2 rounds in a row and get away with it. That is feels like some shortcuts being taken by GODSENT in terms of the calling right now.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. And maybe, like you said, also, we don't know about the depth of this map for them, so it'll be interesting to see. They are out of money already. This WP on Henny, but obviously not much else.
This is looking really similar again. It's Dumao instead of Taco towards middle, but this is almost the same strategy 3 rounds in a row.
Charging through the smoke. MAC-10, admittedly, I mean, it is a good weapon design for that kind of a fight, but you really need the opening kill, or you're not going to be able to pave the way for the rest of the team right behind. 3 versus 5 now. Good, solid defense from Davig. And what is even the goal now? 5 versus 3 like this? You've got a lot of time. But Movistar aren't really moving. They're not going aggressive anywhere on the map. You're going to have a hard time finding kills to get back into this round.
Might just be trying to save the op for the next one, but you don't want to save these pistols. You'd probably rather have the loss bonus.
Yeah.
So the window smoke coming out late, so we will be seeing a late mid-aggress. 50 seconds leaves you not too much time to work with, honestly. With this kind of setup, you really have to go pretty quick, and that one bottom con smoke makes things incredibly awkward for GODSENT, because they're going to be pushing onto a site with less than 30 seconds remaining.
And they get caught in the middle of it. Alex, and now even saving the AWP is not going to be an option. Another flawless round coming out from the Spanish side. So things are looking really smooth at the moment. Quick way to get back in after losing the pistol, and obviously there was a force-up in that round. So now it's going to be a round where GODSENT have even less. Tricky start right now. And mostly testing, like we've been talking about, that B-type execute.
Yeah, it's just been those light mid fakes into B pops, and that's suddenly, I mean, it worked once. It worked one out of 3 times. Okay, we've got the mid-site smoke. We got a flash above Palace coming in just a second. This usually segments the site. Goal is usually to take CT spawn and to get a plant, but it doesn't look like anything is going to happen with this strategy, as once again, another flawless round comes out.
It's gonna be so rich. I mean, I think that's actually fair enough. Sometimes when you do these kind of executes, I suppose you make a bit of an assumption about what the CT setup might be. And if one of those assumptions, like the fact that there might be no one in shadow, if that's wrong and someone is, and you don't have the Molotovs, then this will probably happen a lot of the time.
Yeah.
You can see they're not even looking for it. They're like, let's pretend. And if we're right, then it's pretty much all right. We can get the bomb down and probably fight for it a little bit. But yeah, they got wiped out on that one. There's really some quick rounds that are happening right now. Tied up 3-3 as we move into the 7th round. Sanpeas flashed longer than even I think I was expecting there, and wasn't able to get the kill anyway once he had his vision back. So good mid-control for GODSENT.
This is already developing nicer than any of the GODSENT rounds have in terms of map control. But we'll see if they're able to convert. Oh, a missed top con smoke, but there's no punish coming out from Movistar. You can already see some of the holes in the GODSENT game right now for this map. But Taco takes down one. That might be an entry into the site, but Deaths still remains in shadow. Alex and Sandwich, are they going to overlook this? This is going to work out in his favor to find one. 1-on-2 for Taco now, and both CTs are coming from spawn.
He's going to have such a hard time. He's holding it down, not faking it all, and Mobaz just walking up behind him. Good double for him, and a good round for Movistar. And again, the 3 rounds that they just had where they lost nobody, the fact that they suddenly have a bit more casualties here, they're going to be all right with it. Gotta say, this is a good example. Alex, who was in Sandwich like that, the difference between him just getting cornered and killed and getting that 1 kill is so huge for his team, right? Because if he just dies, it's a completely different round and a good chance for GODSENT to win it all of a sudden, so.
Timeout being taken by GODSENT, and they've got to be discussing the fact that these plays are just coming out so fast. They're not really bleeding the clock out when they have maybe the time, the resources to do so. Having plays come out this quickly is going to just have Movistar in a groove. They're going to know what sort of defenses they need to set up with, how much time they can be afforded in rounds, and could see a pace change come out or could just be going over a new strategy. It's just up for grabs in terms of what does GODSENT have prepared, given that this lineup is so new in terms of incorporating Henny.
And there's a lot of stuff to try. You know, if they could get the mid-control like they did in the previous round here, boosting people into the window. I mean, there's a lot to be played around with if you have a little bit of confidence in doing that, right? So we'll see. This time setting up outside of the A-bomb side once again. Good timing if they hit it really early, but the grenades from the CT side are holding them back just a bit. But you could see if they'd hit it right about now, there would have been 1 jungle window, 1 connector. Both those people would have been smoked off, and probably Deaths would have been alone. So flashing their way through. I like that timing. Barton getting the opening, and the follow-up is even more impressive. Dumao, straight headshot to bring down Sanpeas. That is wonderful.
This affords an opening for GODSENT, but how are they going to scale? They have a smoke. That went top con. Looks like another's going deep jungle. Alex wants to push on forward. He's created a little bit of a pocket for himself to work with. This can isolate some duels for himself, but he's only able to get the 1. There's a quick flank coming in from Opaz, so Davy, he has to activate this. He has to stay alive, or at least draw some attention so that this could come into play. Although, Henny's already posted up on the angle.
Yep. Had a really good idea of it. Wow, yeah, it looked like Alex even did change his crosshair to that smoke position. He was kind of ready for it, but couldn't really find the angle. Bit of a shame. It would have been fun to see how that would have played out. But from GODSENT's point of view, I like it. I mean, even they might have only walked through that smoke or flashed their way through that smoke like 3 seconds before it faded anyway. But it's enough, right? It's enough of a difference to catch the defense just a little bit off guard.
Right.
Now they're out hunting. And oh,
nice catch.
Not bad. Think about what a difference, again, just to bring it back to the 3 rounds that they had everyone stay alive in. For Movistar, that's...
Oh, absolutely.
It's a huge basis for why they can stay competitive in this upcoming round.
They had some disposable income in those rounds that they accrued. They did an excellent job with their fiduciary duties. Just keeping everything intact. Oh.
9th round.
Wow, looks like they are almost just running the same strat that they ran last round.
Oh, Taco's already made it past. I don't think so. His nose.
Oh, that's free. Yep.
And he probably hears the scope on the other side. He's like, oh, okay.
They might not suspect deaths. This might be a great angle, and the flashes to support him find him one. Now, the cavalry has arrived, but GODSENT recognize that. They don't charge headfirst into that. They back on up. They might try to explore other avenues into this round. Dumao is making his way towards middle. Taco finds a window in the palace to throw the op away. But yeah, GODSENT, they're just going to let the defense thin out for Movistar.
They have the time for it. And we were raising some questions earlier about the kind of pace that was behind GODSENT, how quick they were to just go and attack. And this is going to be a different kind of feel for Movistar. So we'll see how they deal with it. Can be really frustrating on the CT side when you have to wait and wait and wait for a long, long time. Damage is holding really far back in B. Mopaz is able to swing in from catwalk if need be. So it could be that between the two of them, they could do a little bit of a good job there. He also has a Molotov that he's actually, just throwing out now. So that'll slow things down. At 35 seconds, that's a pretty annoying Molotov.
But it's not going to impede them in the waning moments of this round. That's a solid nade to take Taco down. But Davy-G, he has to come up with quite a few frags on his own unless Mopaz comes back to help him out. And he does just that. Good counter flash, good nades. This is looking like a very solid setup for Movistar Riders. GODSENT, they rerouted in this one, but they weren't able to come up with anything. Dumao now jumps onto the site, and Davy-G takes him down. Very well put together from the two B defenders.
Yeah, there was a lot happening right there. Some of those rounds, if you replay those again, and instead of giving Davy-G the opening kill in that defense, if it goes the other way and he goes down, it's just the whole round is so different. But can't obviously do that. He was moving around a lot, Davy-G as well, which was really fun to see. It's obviously one of the cool features of the B-bomb. So it's very tricky if you're on the T side and you get a call from a teammate saying he's on this side, but then when you peek to look for him, actually he's stuck around some of all those pillars. Could be hard to keep track of. Now we got more MAC-10s. They've tried this once before, and they didn't really make it through the smoke. But that is a beautiful opening, and he almost could have had him. Almost jumping right over the spray, but a good double kill from Damage will cool things down once again. He is a rock in that B-bomb side at the moment.
That was a great entry coming out, but surprisingly, a disconnected approach from GODSENT. The final two players in Dumao and Henny really taking their time with this. Bomb's already on the site. I think a lot of teams would consider saving at this point, but they're still gonna test their luck, see if they are gifted anything. But Movistar have been doing a good job of not letting these sort of leads slip. Generally quite thorough with their approach, and can't imagine that's going to change in this round.
And also at a point where the funds were starting to run out a little bit on the Movistar side, so it's now they're gonna get a little bit back up there. From GODSENT's point of view, that is super annoying. Very likely going to be 6-4 here. Dumao trying to find any opening that he can at all, but the further he goes that way, the more he's going to be exposed towards that little stand-up there for Damage. He's just a second away from doing it. All right. Gets down to the low ground instead. And it's going to be Alex to find the kill. So pretty good closing of that round on the CT side. And no bomb plant, and maybe not quite enough money for GODSENT to make this a really cool round. This opening is great.
Yeah. Huge entry coming out from Barton, just not the follow-up that they needed. The personnel were very split up for GODSENT in that round, and that's a little bit shocking because they've usually been so on top of each other in these sort of hits. If they had kind of done what they sort of were showing in the first handful of rounds and stuck together, there's a case that they could have maybe even won that. But it's like they're trying to add depth on the fly to some of these plays. Just add another wrinkle in their approach.
Oof. One Deagle bullet, not connecting. But I mean, in spite of everything, right? It's 6-4. I think it's not so bad, right? For GODSENT. The money is a bit of a worry. And Henny and Lado being at respectively 1 and 2 kills could also become a problem eventually. But otherwise, if they can keep this a similar ratio towards the end of the map here, I mean, it's not going to be that bad. But if Movistar go on a bit of a run here and close it out, that's an issue. Mopaz moving forward. David G coming in with a bit of a flank, catching them there. And yeah, he knows. Trying to look for the kill. And they don't have the firepower to really answer back with either. So we've already had a couple of flawless rounds. It could be another one here. And it will be 4 so far in the half. That's unusual. That's so much money.
Yeah, this has been looking pretty solid for Movistar. GODSENT's playbook has shown to find some mixed results in terms of the fact that they have put 4 on the board, sure, but a lot of that is off the back of the pistol round and the subsequent ones. I would love to see GODSENT just try to run a default, try to see if Henny can find a pick. There's a lot of skill on this GODSENT roster, and sometimes just letting players work on their own can prove fruitful, especially on a map like Mirage, where if you just win duels across the map, you're in a very good position.
Some of that is a little bit what worked for them even on Ancient. Having Taco walk up into the B-bomb side on the T side and just find an opening. That kind of stuff can get you a long way, you're right. Dumao goes down early on. Maybe even could have won that fight. He kind of had the right idea. Bit of an awkward moment. And now it's a 4-on-5. Taco definitely in a powerful position playing around in that ladder room. A lot could be done from here.
I can't say I dislike where GODSENT is right now. The fact that they have ladder control with Taco is not a bad space to be in. The only thing you'd obviously want is one of your players back, but that was a pivotal fight. If he was able to win that,
yeah,
entire makeup of the round could have changed, but Movistar will hold on to the advantage.
Even more so as Henny goes down. That was Alex getting the headshot there. He was trying to see if he could make his way through and join the rest of the team to pinch that B-bomb side. Damage. Oh, that's a bit awkward. Probably a little bit of a mistake in ducking. I don't think he necessarily wanted to do that. How much of a mistake? Well, we're about to find out if they end up losing the round behind it. Lado in a 1 versus 3 though. A bit of a wallbang shot to take down his teammate. Nice swing. All right. A couple of more of those and maybe a chance for GODSENT. This would be a miracle if they could pick up this round. But they've been struggling a little bit. He goes back for more, and Alex is there. Low on health, but that was his... He's 17-5, Alex.
He is playing exceptionally well. Just finding so much impact with his kills. And yeah, the 4-piece there for Alex is going to do GODSENT in. That was a round where it really felt like GODSENT had sort of the makeup in terms of where the positions were to convert something, but losing a couple key duels on those sort of mid-pincher players just worked against them. And Movistar, you can see that this team is, even though they don't really play too much Mirage, they still can control situations rather well. They aren't letting GODSENT's sort of erratic nature in terms of their positioning get the better of them.
Eight to 4. It's a pretty good lead right now. 13th round. Nice nades in the middle. Some pairs getting shut down a bit. He hasn't had the most impact with the AWP, which for any number of reasons is not that unusual, I feel like, for AWPing CT side Mirage. A lot of players that pick up the AWP normally kind of tend to shy away from it on this map and don't really enjoy it nearly as much.
It's every piece of utility is designated on the T side to stop an AWP from getting kills. And people have gotten so good at it over the years.
Yeah. It's a little bit miserable. Okay, but again, they have that ladder room, which you can build an entire round behind that. Taco going down just as the smoke fades. That is unfortunate. And now, I don't know, they're in the middle. Henny's going to be going down. Mopaz with the kill. It's kind of falling apart. They have some control here, but they're getting picked apart before they can actually put those pieces into play.
There was some semblance of mid-control, but wow, Lado, that is a nice shot. He was not aiming there. That was a great flick, but not sure if it's going to be enough.
Look at the time.
Yeah, exactly. 30 seconds left, and GODSENT, they're already considering the save. They know the bomb's there. This is it's just so awkward. 20 seconds, you have to just full send it at this point. I can't see a good reason to go for this.
Probably not, right? It doesn't feel doable on any level. 12 seconds, you're right, it has to be essentially perfect getting into the bomb site even. Lado getting a kill there on Damage, but 5 seconds left, and they just can't control the round. It's a real shame because they do get a couple of kills, but it will be 9 on the board. Spanish side is looking increasingly strong right now. 9-4 is a really, really good first half so far. And it's looking to get even better. No bomb plant either.
Near B anchor and Davy has 14 kills. It feels like that part of the map is probably locked down. And these timings on these re-aggresses from Movistar in terms of retaking middle or just finding out, they're almost just info peaks, and yet they're netting kills for them. That's gotta say something about maybe a little bit about GODSENT and how they're holding angles or maybe not knowing their own nade timings, but also for Movistar's sake, some of these players are just performing incredibly well.
Nice knife find for Taco. Could provide an opening. Alex playing sandwich. Gonna get the kill there. Alex trying to do more work. You could tell how crispy he is with that aim, but 3 people is too much, and Henny with the follow it up. Nicely done. Galil in hand, able to take down some players, and Damage 1 versus 3 instead now. And I've got to say, I feel like he's having almost the inverse experience of what a normal B player is having Damage. Like, normally this is what happens, right? You're bored for most of the map, and then eventually you have to try and retake the A-bomb site, you know, basically 2-on-4 or 2 versus 3 or something like that.
Yep.
So this is more of a classic example. He's been having a good time over on the other side. Will eventually go down here, and it will give GODSENT another round, 5 on the board. Probably, I think, a really important round for them to win right here.
Despite how dire this half has looked for GODSENT, if they're able to come away with this with 6, the player quality is high enough that they could put together a very strong CT side for themselves. So they are not out of this game by any means, and this is going to be a really big round in terms of momentum going into the second half. 10-5 or 9-6. Looks like Mopaz may have missed the jump there, but either way, he's happy to just spam through the smoke alongside his teammate. Now GODSENT, they're exercising their options in terms of timings now. They aren't just going head first into a play. They've slowed things down from the initial 6 or 7 rounds of this half, and they're going to see if Movistar give them anything for free.
They've been very much the same stuff out of Movistar so far. There's one round where some players is up in the A Palace with the AWP. Been a couple of rounds where Des has been playing forward on the A ramp, but otherwise we haven't seen those. Actually, they're doing it now. Mopaz, but otherwise they haven't been doing much of this stuff where you're sort of pushing top mid. This is maybe one of the first rounds, and they were even doing it way late. Normally, something you do right off the bat, and you stay and you hold it for 20 seconds, and then you say, all right, never mind. So interesting. Might be really hard to read for GODSENT if you're coming back in here now, thinking why would they be here in this position still at sub 50 seconds.
It's tough to go for a mid-take this late in the round, and they're only sending Dumao out. He will be taken down by Mopaz. That puts a lot of responsibility on Davy G's shoulders. He's been good for it so far, and once again, he comes up. 3 kills from Davy G, putting a stop to all of this push from GODSENT. Henny tries to find something, but he's only able to get the 1.
Wow, that is impressive. 10-5 in the first half, Movistar. That's a pretty good setup to see if they can maybe actually bring them down and win this best of 3. We'll see if they can in the second half after this.
Hey Future Pros, we are back on Mirage, this time bringing you the classic jungle smoke. This will block off the CT's vision from jungle and connector. To do this smoke, get onto the ledge and aim at the center of this beam. Aim to the left of this thing and just below the top of it. Then throw the smoke. If done correctly, it should leave no gaps. Combine with the stairs and spawn smoke and you will have one of the most classic executes in CSGO.
Call it a virus, but we call it the antidote. It's an answer to silence. The future is here to revolt.
Final map in this best of 3 between Movistar and GODSENT. We are on Mirage, and it's a pretty sizable lead right now for the Spanish side of things. Feels like it's going to be enough. GODSENT just didn't feel quite as powerful on this particular map, at least so far.
Some of their plays felt a little bit one-dimensional, but they started developing their playbook as the game went on. Hopefully, they can keep building upon themselves and show us a really good defensive side. And I think that the player quality has been highlighted by the desk. It should be there for them to come up.
Some people believe the whole world now is built of one-dimensional strings, so it's possible that GODSENT are trying to be at one with the universe like that. Or they just don't know how to play Mirage. This is the other possibility, of course.
Singularity or lack of map knowledge.
Exactly. It's a nice, strong stack in his A-bomb site. Should be enough for the defense, especially with headshots like that. Strong start for Dumao. Barton is there to follow it up. They're trading favorably right now. And I bet right now Movistar thinking, damn, why did they have to have 4 people in the A-bomb site, making it real hard to win this one. Alex on his own, though. He has been the star for the team. And maybe he could find a way out. 1 versus 2. No, Laddo's going to take him down. Not even with a headshot, but the USP will get the job done. And GODSENT, that's an important pistol round to win right there.
You got to love that when you're an IGL and you call for the 4-man stack. And that's exactly what the offense runs into.
Yeah.
Not too bad from Laddo, though. SPAC triple position is simply so powerful with a USP, and he makes it work. GODSENT, that's going to help propel them to try to even things up. Still some distance between themselves and Movistar Riders, but looks like they'll be gifted another freebie here as it is 5 Glocks. Not a single flash, not a single upgrade. Movistar, they're almost just giving this round up.
Yeah, you'd be so happy to get a bomb line in this round. It's not even close.
It was so disconnected, too.
They hit no bullets. Nothing that they fired out of a pistol in that round connected with any enemy players at all.
0 ADR.
Yeah. Fair enough.
All right, just move on to the next. That's what Movistar said. Can't blame them. This second buy, especially on a map like Mirage, can just be so powerful. Just AK, smoke, flash. That's sometimes all you need. And a few players come up with a little bit more too.
Well, think about if you're cruising up out of the A ramp on the T side and you're fighting someone towards CT spawn and they have a FAMAS and you have that AK, it's like, yeah, I'm taking that fight. That's fine.
Yeah, that's a 70-30. Well, Movistar, They allow GODSENT to burn some of their utility early on in this one. You can see that GODSENT, they're just playing with a slightly quicker pace, and Movistar almost seemingly know that, are ready to take mid probably within the next 10 seconds or so. This timing is simply better than what GODSENT was doing. GODSENT was taking mid a lot of the time past the 50-second mark in these late takes, and Movistar are doing it with 110. Just gives them so much more room to work with, but Dumao, nice boost, does find the man advantage.
And the perfect timing for it. They were sort of shuffling around a little bit with that boost. But I just to follow up on that, obviously if you get that mid control with sub 50 seconds, there's not many fakes you can run behind it. You can't really signal much because they're gonna know kind of what's happening a little bit after that. 4 on 5 though, GODSENT. And they have Lado in the middle. He's probably starting to feel like there's not really much noise here. Like, it doesn't feel like anyone's actually showing up middle. They can keep that 3-man defense at the A-bomb site. This is looking like such a solid defense right now for GODSENT. Early on in the top, at least.
Oh, what an entry.
No way. He shot him right through the smoke. That is a little bit unfair, it feels like. Dumao up on the box, and he can't really move behind that. With a good headshot for Damage and a long-range spray from Mopaz, and they do open up the bomb site. Taco and Lado, they are right next to it, though. And the bomb will be planted with just about 10 seconds left. It's still a 2-on-3, though. How do you get back here? FAMAS, MP9, they have a smoke and a kit as well on, so maybe if you find a kill now, you definitely should try for it. Get a smoke on top of that bomb and try and see if you can just get the defuse in time. Taco, he's looking for anyone that he can find right now. He's not really being treated to any free information either. And that bomb is slowly ticking away. He's going to get shot from the high ground. Incredible timing. But let's see. There is a kit on Lado. He fakes it out a single time. All right. Hard to say what is the right move there, but Movistar will barely make it through the round.
That was an essential peek for Mopaz in the post plant there to take down Taco as he's charging forward towards his teammate at Tetris. His teammate at Tetris was in red in terms of HP, and if Taco's jumping around that corner with an MP9, he's almost surely going to win that fight. So Mopaz actually really saved his teammate's life right there and probably secured the round on top of that. That is very nice from him. But you could see that the multi-layered sort of structure from that round from Movistar, just so much more depth in terms of what they were able to put on the table in the first gun round versus how GODSENT were just going for these very flat approaches, the B-pop, the A-pop, like a late mid that almost becomes incredibly obvious for where it's going. Movistar have shown just a little bit more depth on this map thus far, and it has paid off in terms of, I mean, they have the round lead.
Yeah. Started to pick it up and also not letting them go on a crazy round win with a lot of weapons that kind of happened in the first half, right? At least doing the damage and making sure they can punish them a little bit more. 11-7 and moving into the 19th round. It's looking real shoddy on the GODSENT side in terms of the equipment. It's not too impressive.
Fast boost into ladder. Lado, oh, it just takes the, oh, wow. Is that a bit of a team flash there? It didn't look too pretty for him. Either way, Davy finds the 5v4 and a little bit of a disconnect. Wow, that's a read. That's just a read. That deep bottom connector smoke frequently is pushed like that, and Sunpayas finds the perfect timing to take down Dumao. This is a slightly stronger mid-hold coming out from Movistar. You can see the experience on these players.
It definitely was a bit of a team flash for Lado coming out, and they obviously intended that to go the other way. Like, he gets flashed in, pushes out, gets someone who's blind on the T side, just blows right up. So that's hard to deal with. That's 2 attempts at aggression in the middle that both get completely knocked down. And Alex is back at it with even more kills. He's got 20 right now, the 9 deaths. So he's doing a lot of work. Him and Damage both. It's a very clean round.
It feels like Movistar are very much so in control of this game now. The money's not too pretty for GODSENT either, but in terms of their approach, it was simply more, there was more cohesion, and in terms of the read of the situation, it was definitely in Movistar's favor. That's really nice from Sunpayas. That's not something he gets to do all the time either. He's usually wielding the op at top mid, but this time around he gets to make use of the 30 bullets of the AK.
Taser picked up on Dumao. Do you have strong feelings about the Taser, Mao? Is that?
No, I simply don't have strong feelings about the taser. I think it's just incredibly situational. I've seen it actually do incredibly well, especially in certain cases like Apartments of Inferno, at the bottom of B ramp at Train. There's certain moments where it can just clog up an entire lane. Oh, Davy G.
That wasn't one of the moments.
No. Yeah.
Oh, man. Fair enough.
Do you have strong feelings about it?
Yeah, because I've been trying for half a decade to get the professional Counter-Strike environment to do run-boosted tasers. I really think that's like the next evolution of playing with the taser.
It's like a... Yeah, you use the extra move speed and fly at them with a...
Fly through the smoke, like set up a smoke, like run boost through it, and then also think of the psychological damage if you're on the receiving end. You're like, no.
It's like for anybody that played TF2 when the demo knight, the demo man, when he equipped the sword and shield was a thing, just charge at them. Yeah.
So I think it can happen, but it's taken a while. I've been doing this, you know, a little bit of groundwork for it.
I'm sure people are workshopping it right now. Zonic is literally thinking, where can I make this work?
If you won the major that way, like, you know, if you make history is what I'm saying, so.
Yeah.
13-7 right now. It's a 6-round gap that is building. And GODSENT just, never mind the actual numbers, just on the eye test here, they look a little bit lost right now on the GODSENT side of things. But they have money finally. They can buy real weapons. That's great.
Yeah, we do see Henny on the op, and he's able to find an opening pick. Looks like he was boosted towards the B apartments early on, and because Movistar lost that position towards B, they are consolidating their effort towards the A site. Mopaz looking for that Palace lurk. So frequently has to be the bailout player for Movistar in rounds like this, but it looks like there's just not going to be enough. Okay, there is an opportunity there. He takes down one. It's just Barton on the site, but Alex can't win the duel. That would have been it. That would have been a huge opportunity, but GODSENT, they're able to stabilize.
Would have been backbreaking if they would have actually lost that, but you're right, there was a definite opportunity there. 13-8. Finally, a step in the right direction. A very nice flick from Henny. Need a lot more of that. And I mean, obviously, I think it's a huge luxury if you have a confident AWPer that can play that B bomb site, because it can be really hard to break through there without losing one or two players in transition getting onto the site. So I appreciate that. They're moving him around a fair bit now. We'll see what they're going to be, what kind of solutions they're going to be finding here on the T side now.
That deep smoke is making Movistar rethink just about everything in their lives. A couple players backed off from the B apartments, but they do have a little bit of space towards top mid. They can make something of that. Deaths is on a little bit of a mission, trying to find some sort of default entry.
Ooh, patience. Taco is here. Yeah, there's the jump. Now, if he would have jumped up onto the barrel back there, could have been a very, very different outcome. Now he's going to be cheeky and try and do it.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty bold.
Yes, that is very bold. Okay. A lot of moving parts right now in this Movistar offense. Davy G is making his way into ladder, but there is, in fact, an A ramp play going on with the bomb, but Davy G catches off Taco. Because of the boost, he knows there's a second player there right now, and he's just locking that player in as the main hit goes on towards A. 30 seconds remain, though.
Dumar and Barton, they're going to be the only defense here. They basically each have to come up with at least a couple of kills to make this work, or their teammates won't even really get close to doing the retake. 20 seconds, Damage with another good headshot. It's all down to Barton and Sandwich. 15 seconds, he could still do it. The lineup is almost there for a break triple. He could have had it, and that would have won the round. 9 seconds now, and Henny, he can't stick around. The bomb will be planted. My God, that was close. If he would have found a third one there, I think that is the round one.
Yeah, and with how sharp Barton's playing, it feels completely possible. Oh, and Henny, he doesn't completely clear the angle out. That's the op loss. There's not enough money for an AWP for the next round of GODSENT. It was essential to keep that gun alive. But now Movistar, they have total control over this game. It's in the palm of their hands.
Yeah, they've paved the way for themselves right now.
That was such a great lurk towards middle. Both players that were middle for Movistar did exceptionally well there. daviG and Alex.
Yeah.
But from connector and ladder room. That was just textbook ways to lurk.
It even, I think, makes sense that GODSENT would go back for that boost because of the risk that Taco took in jumping up and clearing that B hallway. He's like, they're probably not going B because they actually fell back. Let me go back and let's and they also kept that 3-man defense. But then once they lost Taco over towards Cowhawk, they had to give it up and then they could hit that A bomb site. So super unfortunate timing on everything really that round for GODSENT. I actually think what they did made a lot of sense. Just didn't win the early fights that they needed there.
Oh, spotted a shoulder there. That's a good flash. Nice shot from Lado. Dumao, can't quite finish off the kill on daviG. But the bomb is actually in Palace right now and it is looking to still pressure this A site. Deaths does get a kill from the ramp. The player towards mid in daviG is just being a complete nuisance right now, and he's hightailing it out of there. This is a free bomb site for the taking. Bomb will be planted, and now daviG is just a wild card in this round. He's running all the way towards B as there's a fight going on the bomb site. The bomb planter is being highly pressured. In fact, Dumao takes him down.
What a way to go. Death's just trying to stay alive, but he couldn't. Sunpear's up there. With an AWP, there's a very awkward position to be in if he has to swing wide to try and stop a defuse at some point. Oh, look at the timing. Oh, they almost catch him. He should have died half an hour ago towards the middle, and they're going to find the kill Dumao. He goes down. What a ridiculous round from daviG. In spite of everything, I mean, he got a triple kill this round already, but more so the time that he bought and just how much confusion that he caused on that CT side. It is going to be a 15th round now on the side of Movistar.
Not bad, not bad. Good idea from GODSENT there, but they're working with just such limited utility and not the best weaponry. If a couple of the players, maybe Dumao had a rifle or just a couple more guns there, could have worked out for GODSENT, but they couldn't quite finish off all the kills that they needed to. This one in particular, that was big, and I'm surprised that Dumao got caught off right there, given that Taco just saw that player rounding the corner, but I'm sure the comm was just coming out and he didn't spin in time.
Yeah, it must have been really, really close. Unfortunate. Now they need to go on a 7-round run.
Yep.
It doesn't really feel like that's going to happen. Unlikely to say the least. And their weapons in this round, not that great either. The combination right now of Alex and daviG is just really hard to stop. They are doing so much damage.
Some unlikely suspects. I mean, daviG is working off the back of being a B anchor, and that's where he builds up so much confidence in this game. Not usually the guy you expect to have 30 kills.
Definitely not. Speaking of confidence, Alex up from underpass, clearing out connector on his own, basically no backup, just all over the place, and they're so deep in there. Yeah, they're feeling the game in a big way right now. They kind of know this is done.
Oh, look at this. This is so grimy. Henny is he going to even expect? Okay, all right, Lado cleans it up. Makes things a little bit easier for his teammate, but Barton, this is an essential win for him, and he gets it.
Job done. UMP of all weapons. Molotov there. Smoke will afford him a bit of space, so he was actually looking a little bit forward into the future and able to read that. Pretty good stuff. 3-on-3 still, and Barton's back for a little bit more action. Or if he swung a bit wider with that UMP, he definitely would have had the kill. Also would expose him maybe to a follow-up. Alex has walked in towards connector, so they got to be careful. Flashbang is in, and it worked on Sunpear. He was flashed, but he still got the kill on Henny. And Barton, he's being slowly pushed from every angle now. He's still able to get the kill. That's actually a really good job, and they're going to be able to turn it around and win the round. Barton, I mean, I'm even shocked that he got even maybe the first kill, but the follow-up was really, really cool.
If there's one thing I'm going to take about the individuals from GODSENT in this game is that Barton is really good under pressure like that. It feels like every time I've seen him so far in this series with just tucked in under a single piece of cover, he can either stay alive for such a long duration or come up with 2 kills. And that's just such a valuable skill set for an anchor player.
Yeah, most people I think in that position would have eventually swung really wide and be like, okay, I am essentially dead. Let me get one last fight here, and then yeah, he kind of proved you just stay hidden for a long time. It's hard to deal with.
He's so calm in that space.
I feel like this would be a classic round to lose if you're on the Godsent side, though. You're up against just Eagles.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's been going too well for them, but maybe they'll keep the game competitive, get themselves to double digits. Oh, they almost got timing right there. But in actuality, this should be a pretty clean Godsent cleanup. You have the superior weaponry, and what's nice about winning this kind of round is you could probably upgrade that FAMAS if you keep enough players alive.
Yep, true. Lado, yeah, if you get back around the corner, all right, that's actually really well controlled. A bit uncomfortable when he's out of the open like that, just in case they double swing against him. He spins around for another couple of kills. Good quad on him.
Yep.
15 to 10. And it was just 15-8. So they're starting to walk it back in the right direction.
Right, pressure's not there quite yet for Movistar to finish this game out, but it's rearing its head. The comeback it's approaching.
Yeah, they're starting to do a little bit more work. Still the full run back, I don't know if I'm really buying it yet. I'm gonna have to see a lot more. I have to be more impressed still. But if they can keep the economy going this way, at least that's something to work with. Henny, a little bit forward with that AWB. I like that. When I think of someone AWPing this position, I think of Fallen.
Yes.
One of my favorite things to watch.
Usually you get FNX right to his left. That was the 2015-16 classic for those two. The close ramp setup. People even usually call it the Fallen setup. And in fact, it usually screws people trying to run it today because everybody's seen it so many times now.
Yeah. It's really, really cool if you went around at that point in time. I wonder if there's a way to go back and I mean, obviously the VODs are out there somewhere, I guess, but that could be a fun experience if you've never seen it in action. Barton and Henny in the A-bomb site for the minute. And Movistar are setting up outside. They have a bit of mid control. Could be a really cool pinch that's coming in here, especially if they can block out Dumao and sort of keep him in window. It's going to be hard to hold this 2 versus 5, essentially.
Yeah, this is looking to be a solid A pinch. So a lot of this does come down to Dumao. That's an excellent smoke timing from Barton, I must say. He's been spammed through this before, though, so he can't get too comfortable. That bullet just whizzed by his back, almost taking him down. But he doesn't want to get sprayed this time. You can see he's not even facing the smoke entirely. And this is it. 20 seconds. Barton is under pressure.
There's not a lot of time for this, surely. 10 seconds now, and yeah, they're going to have to basically just run onto the site, and they get swiped trying to do it. Ladder with a good couple of kills there. I understand going through the smoke is going to be tricky, but man.
Eventually it either has to happen or you do just call the save. It sucks, but a lot of teams weirdly would probably have called the save. Yeah. Once that Molly came down with 15 seconds left, it's very hard to justify that. And you can see that Movistar, they're getting frustrated now. GODSENT are getting in their heads.
3 rounds in a row. It's the pressure is starting to mount. They probably already, hopefully they weren't, but you can start to feel like it's kind of already done. Like, we already did this, it's already won.
One thing I have to bring up about Barton, the fact that he had a smoke and a molly with 30 seconds left in the round, just it shows how confident he is to just hold his position without utility. So many players, especially in a high pressure moment when it's 15 rounds for the other team, you want to dump that nade. You want to throw that last smoke, that last molly a little bit earlier, but he held on, and that is a very admirable trait, once again, for the anchor of GODSENT.
And those grenades, they just become more and more valuable the less time that's left on the enemy clock, obviously. So huge stuff. Not really seeing anyone, but he's doing a little bit of damage at the very least. Barton's covering the other side, making sure that no one could swing against his teammate that was spamming through the smoke. We'll pass. Ooh, timing is a little bit scary here. Barton's still alive though. Eventually will go down. Death coming in with a kill there. And they're gonna get a bomb plant. They need to scramble and try and find a gun somewhere because I don't think the pistols will quite do it. Mopaz has picked up an M4. He's stuck in shadow. And yeah, he can't really do anything in that position. So, fair play. I mean, and for Movistar, it's still pretty good to get the bomb down, but they weren't close to winning that round.
Only a couple more opportunities here for Movistar to close this out in regulation. Should have 2 more gun rounds if they follow normal economic procedures.
And the mental switch that happens if you don't end up winning in regulation, I mean, it obviously, GODSENT are going to be super excited.
Everything changes.
Yeah.
Everything changes. Is that a hand warmer by his mousepad? Okay, well, we'll look at another time.
The technology is improving all the time.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, nothing through the smoke. But they do go for a little bit of a boost. Henny trying to get into position. Taco has another AWP, so they wanted to run this earlier, I think, on Nuke, and it didn't really work out necessarily. They're back to it again here. Ooh, there's a lot of damage in the middle of the follow-up nade, and it blows up Alex. A fantastic target to hit.
Oh, but look at this. daviG's inserted himself into the jungle. I don't think GODSENT are aware that this is a possibility. There might have been a timing that they recognize, but okay, they do think somebody could have gotten a window, which is essentially going to be the same procedures.
It's possible. It does feel like he kind of has a lottery ticket with the winning numbers on, but he has to cash it in still. It's not quite there.
Okay, they're playing for him to cut off rotations, it looks like, as they make a B hit their main focal point in this round. Okay, so he's gonna have, so they're gonna have to get into B though, and Taco's posted up with an op right now. This position of daviG might not even matter if Taco finds a couple kills.
Yeah, it could be completely irrelevant, and then we just forget that we talked about it. Or, you're right, if they push in here and find it, they're gonna have to rotate around daviG essentially. Oh,
wow.
Nice opening, Sunpaeus. Not many kills on him. That was his 9th kill in this map, but that's a big one, and there's daviG controlling it in the middle, picking up a kill. That's gonna be hard to deal with. Des with a headshot as well. Orb on the other side, big double kill, and Henny is on his own, and he can't even really catch daviG. That actually worked out. That was a real, they had to thread that needle perfectly.
That entry from Sunpaeus is massive, and now Henny, he's got so much on his shoulders. daviG comes up with a 3-piece to close things out as Movistar take the series to kick off their ESL Pro League Season 15 campaign.
Wow, that's unexpected, but a really, really cool showing. It did take all 3 maps, and even towards the end, they were staring down the barrel of some kind of overtime here, and it was looking to get really ugly, but they managed to find a way through. Sunpaeus proving that even if you're not having the best game, sometimes you just have to hang out for that one round where you can make a difference.
Absolutely.
Impressive stuff.
All right. That is going to do it for us in this series. We've got more to talk about. We're going to have a break, and then we're going to have the desk to preface the upcoming series. That's going to be it for us. Be sure to stay tuned for the desk.
Our performance in 2022, I think, is kind of bad because we didn't expect it to start the year like we started, and yeah.
Bye.